Hey everyone, I'm Dylan, aka Dilly, right here. Got one of my best friends. He flew in from Denver. He's been living out there for several months, kind of experiencing some new things. Started a new career path. Super proud of this guy. Um, yeah, we got him down here. He wanted to be on the channel. We're trying to introduce him. I think everybody needs to see this cutie patootie. You know what I'm saying?
Man. Hey, man. Hey, I mean, hey, everyone thinks I'm not cute, man. You know that. You know. Hey.
Well, go ahead and introduce yourself, brother.
Okay, like I said, hey, I'm Jeff. Everybody. Like I said, he mentioned I'm from Denver. I'm living in Denver now. I'm originally from San Antonio. I went to high school here.
He's not a Broncos fan.
No, I'm not a Broncos
He likes
fan.
the Patriots,
Yeah,
but he's a bandwagoner.
Okay.
He's already hopped off the Patriots bandwagon.
I could tell he's been getting on that for years, and I agree. Hey, sure, you're welcome. Uh, uh, hey,
Just saying.
I mean, but the problem is, like I said, I'm not a Broncos fan. I mean, I just moved to Denver. Definitely Russ is not cooking for sure. He is not cooking anything at all. But I mean, hey, he's doing what he has to. But I mean, Denver does have a decent defense. Let's say that. But I am a Patriots fan. I know he's getting me for years and busting me forever, busting my balls forever about the Patriots. Of course, about the cheating scandals and Tom Brady and whatever. And
Yeah, because they exist.
Deflating of balls and all that stuff, and we know that.
Because they exist.
And then cheating. And then cheating. Who is it on the
Bengals?
Cincinnati Bengals?
When they were horrible.
And they were 1-14. Or no,
Y'all literally,
no, 2-12. Because he played like towards the end of the season. 2-12.
y'all literally,
and we cheated on the Cincinnati Bengals.
literally got caught cheating on one of the worst teams in the NFL that had zero to do with y'all's playoff chance.
Yeah, they really did. I mean, but I mean,
Like,
who knows? I mean, like I said, I've been a fan though. I mean, they've been a good team. They've been great. I mean, a lot of my coworkers were like, "Hey, you're gonna convert to a Broncos fan?" I said,
oh, shut up. If they were good,
now the only exception if I was and I moved there now, if Von Miller was still on the team, Game over.
Call shenanigans. If
over.
y'all were sitting 5-1 right now,
Yeah.
you were gonna have Russell Wilson's name tattooed on your body.
I don't know about that, man. I mean, who
let
knows?
me give y'all a little bit of backstory.
Okay.
He's a Patriots fan,
Mm-hmm.
and guess who his favorite college team is? Alabama. Now, I'm not saying that there's a trend here of him only liking teams that have been extremely successful over a long period of time.
Yep. But the reason why too, like I said, I like Bama.
Coincidental.
Well, it's coincidental, but it's also too because, like I said, because I have blood that runs through Alabama. My grandfather was born in Mobile, so I mean, have a little bit of Alabama blood in me. So I mean, the Bama's tide still roll. They always roll. Even though the funny thing is though, he went to LSU for one semester where he met my grandmother. But other than that,
So you're an LSU fan?
No, I'm not.
So you're an LSU fan?
No, I'm not.
Why wouldn't you be a fan of the alum?
Because he didn't end up graduating from the University of Maryland. That's where he graduated from.
So then you're a Maryland.
No, I'm not a Turpin. Fuck no. Forget it.
So out of all of this, all I'm hearing is he was born in a place and they just happened to be extremely successful.
Yeah.
So now you're a fan. Regardless of where he graduated,
Yes,
where he went to
yes,
school, where
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. There you go.
Fucking bandwagon.
Stop.
If I had ever your nose is growing, bro.
Oh, I know it is. I know, but here's the thing though. I mean, talk about college football. Like I said, because knowing how you're the Aggies though. Who came from that Nick Saban tree line though?
Nick Saban wasn't head coach with Jimbo.
No, he was one of his assistants.
But he wasn't head coach at the time.
He was an assistant. What? No.
Nick Saban wasn't his head coach.
No, I'm not saying he.
They grew up together.
No, they did, but Jimbo was on staff.
So was Nick Saban.
No, because Saban was the head coach at LSU, and Jimbo was one of his assistants at LSU.
I don't know if Nick Saban was the head coach at LSU at that time. Was he?
For 1 year.
It doesn't matter.
1 year, but then he ended up going to Bama. But
I mean, it literally doesn't matter. Like, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an A&M fan, but unlike you, I'm also an Arkansas Razorbacks fan because my family's from Arkansas.
I know exactly.
Because I actually, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you were raised a Razorback first.
Even though we always start off the year pretty good, and then we lose the most
important games.
Appalachian State, like what?
Yeah. Well, like I said, look at A&M did the same thing. I mean, but you look at Arkansas. Arkansas is actually coming back now. I mean,
Doesn't matter. We're out of playoff contention.
Yeah, but I mean,
doesn't matter.
One of your teams eventually wasn't going to make the playoffs either way.
No, because even when we're supposed to make the playoffs, the fucking AP poll kicks us out. Even when every single person in the nation is like, they're the number 3, number 4 team.
And that one year, and I hate
but
to
no,
say it,
Notre Dame.
That 1 year, though, I agree, though. The 1 year that I remember.
When we beat y'all?
Well, but also the year that, I forgot what year it was. It was like 20.
I think it was 2020 or 2019.
2019. Because I remember 2019 because we were at Thirsty Horse and we were watching the reveal, and A&M got robbed because they revealed they went from backwards. And A&M wasn't in it. They were number 5.
And had
Ohio, I think it was or Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati got in.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't Cincinnati.
Who was it?
It was either Notre Dame or Ohio State.
Notre Dame.
Yeah.
There's Ohio State was there like 3, and then Bama was.
But every single rankings had us in top 4, and every single rankings had basically said like, hey.
Yeah,
they have a chance to go and win it all, do the thing.
Y'all had the
and
team.
Then we got kicked out. Notre Dame looked like absolute garbage in the playoffs.
They got demolished by Bama.
So then it was just like.
And that was the year, too, when they played. That was when 2019 that they played Ohio State.
Well, and then on top of that, it's like. Which, okay, I give Alabama a little bit of credit. And same thing with Georgia.
Yep.
Is, bro, like, you're going through the gauntlet.
Yeah.
You're literally going through the gauntlet to get to that undefeated season. Like, and, like, A&M, you're looking at the schedule, and it's like, you're playing Mississippi State, you're playing Alabama, you're playing Arkansas, you're playing Ole Miss, you're playing LSU, you're playing Florida. And it's like, what other schools besides SEC teams have to deal with that? The Longhorns play 2 or 3 ranked opponents.
Yeah, but then like I said, when they come down and OU, and I hate to say it, after watching the way OU's been playing too, they're gonna basically, I hate to say it, they're gonna be like the Vanderbilt and not Missouri of the SEC. They're gonna look like garbage. They're gonna look like trash.
I don't know, man, because Texas almost beat Alabama.
That's why I agree too. I was kind of scared of that. I was scared of that game. I was scared of that game. I was.
But I think Texas has a chance to be competitive.
No, Texas will.
And I think OU has a chance to be competitive.
Yeah.
But remember OU has a brand new coach.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Texas has a pretty new coaching staff.
Yeah.
Is this Sarkisian's first or second year?
Second year.
So Texas. Relatively new staff.
Right.
But Sarkisian's used to the SEC. He understands what that's happening.
Yeah, he knows how to play.
But like the thing is you compare all of these other teams, and bro, like, who does Ohio State have to play?
They don't play anybody.
Florida State.
They don't play
Clemson.
anybody. Yeah, they don't play anybody. They don't. I mean, Ohio State. If they were to play somebody, like I said, you take somebody in the SEC, they're going to get steamrolled 90% of the time. They're going to get beat because they think they're a national brand. Because the Ohio State University, university does that.
Don't get me wrong. I think Ohio State wins,
of course,
if they're playing almost every team,
of course.
But I do think that it's a little bit different when every single week you're going against the best of the best of the best of the. Because now, not only that, you're playing guys that are bigger, guys that are faster, guys that are hungrier, more talented every week. Now people are getting hurt.
Right.
So now you're dealing with the injury bug. Now you're dealing with, is CJ Stroud going to be throwing more interceptions if he's playing quality teams every single week?
Right. Yeah.
Maybe.
I think you would, because like you take him, and like I said when we mentioned yesterday when we went out.
I mean, I think he'd be good regardless. But
yeah, well, he could be good, but it's like you said, like you take like Will Anderson from Alabama. You take him, like if CJ Stroud is facing him, like half of the game, then what
I
you
still think he's gonna light up Alabama. My thing is like I think any given week, I think Ohio State could probably beat
They could.
almost any team. I mean, the way that these last few years have went,
Mm-hmm.
in all honesty,
Yeah.
any team can beat any team.
Of course.
It's been
college. It's college.
I mean, like y'all just lost to Tennessee, and
52-49.
bro, y'all literally gave that game away.
We really did, and it was kind of sad. And I hate to say it, sucked. But I mean,
Hey, Tennessee's ballers, dude.
they are, and I think, especially like this weekend, who is it? It's LSU and Ole Miss. Don't be surprised, man. The Tigers come out of nowhere, and they're playing in Death Valley. Don't be scared. Like the Rebels are going to come in hot, but I think that the Tigers, they're going to be hungry.
Remember,
to beat
Ole Miss undefeated.
But
ain't nobody talking about them.
I know they're same. They're undefeated. Tennessee's undefeated. TCU is undefeated. These no-name teams.
But who does TCU
But
play?
but like I said, TCU.
You can
play anybody.
you
They
can
don't play
look,
anybody.
but you can look at Tennessee and be like,
Yeah, I can see that.
you're undefeated,
Yeah,
and you've played
and you just beat Bama
quality people to be undefeated.
and to beat Bama.
Ole Miss,
Yeah.
you've played quality people to
Right.
remain undefeated.
Right.
LSU, okay, you're coming back.
They're
I think
they're 5-2 right now.
yeah, they're still probably out of playoff contention unless something crazy happens.
Yeah, they are out of playoff contention.
But it's like, who has TCU played for me to have that amount of respect for them?
Nobody.
When you can look at a Tennessee or Ole Miss that's like, well, they're going through the gauntlet and they just beat the number one team.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
And I think Ole Miss is probably going to get a chance to play Alabama. Do they play them this year?
I think they do.
So it's one of those things where it's like, we're going to find out.
Yeah.
We just found out Tennessee.
Tennessee's like they're a good squad. They're gonna like I said like you said Henry Hooker. He is a legit quarterback.
Is Tennessee in the east or west part of SEC?
They're in.
Are they with Georgia or Alabama?
I think they're in the.
I think they're with Georgia, right?
Yeah, they're in the. They're in the West.
Wouldn't that be the shittiest outcome in the world? You go through all of that, beat Alabama, balling out, and you're gonna lose the SEC just because happenstance you're there with Georgia.
Right, and I mean they're
Do they play Georgia?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Bro, once again, this goes back to my previous statement.
Yeah.
Name one other freaking team that's gonna have to play the number 1 team, the number 3 team.
I don't know the last time that happened. I don't remember.
In the same season.
Yeah, that's pretty hard.
Within a few weeks, probably.
Yeah, because I know.
And then turn around and play them in the SEC championship, probably.
Yeah, it's gonna happen,
dude. That's my point about like when we're talking about who the best of the best of the best is, which is like the only time I will give Alabama any credit. Right. They have been able to sustain a winning program going through that gauntlet because it's like, who else goes through that
kind of gauntlet?
USC ain't going through that.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean? Clemson ain't going through that.
No, and I was happy, even like from last week, and I was happy when USC lost. I was ecstatic. I was pulling for the Utes. I was pulling for Utah. I was happy.
Too.
I was happy that they did
after like I learned the story about like the two guys who lost their life and on the helmets.
Yep.
And then I watched the game and the way that the Utes played. I'm like,
because like a third of their team are Samoan dudes. They're big and they're smart.
But I'm like,
but they're strong too.
But I'm like, man, like you can just feel it the way they're playing. They're playing for
those brothers, but
like,
also their coach.
So it was like you could watch it the way that they're playing, where they're like trying to get those. They're fighting, they're clawing, they're trying to win, and I'm like, you know what? It's pretty cool because I didn't even know that, and I was like watching the game, and I'm like, why do they have people's faces like on their helmets? I'm like, who are? And it was on the news, and I just didn't pay attention.
Yeah, I didn't either. I mean, I didn't know about that probably until you told me, but I mean, it's just. The reason why, like I said, I was just happy that USC got beat. I mean, all the hype about USC trying to think that they're going to make a run to the playoffs.
USC is going to be good.
They're going to be good, yeah. Because
USC is going to be good.
Lincoln Riley, because Lincoln Riley brought his Oklahoma style to USC. He brought it to that California style, that California offense is what he did.
But it's not only that, though. at one of the richest schools with one of the biggest boosters.
And half of
it's gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
You can get all of the studs.
Half of his recruiting class came with him too.
So legitimately, you're in a spot where it's like people want to go,
right,
because of who it is, and then you start getting money involved.
Yeah,
which there's uber rich now that you can sign NIL deals.
Yeah,
it's okay. Who doesn't want to go USC?
No,
everybody thinks they're Reggie Bush once they put a Trojan uniform on.
Oh yeah. And the reason why I say that is it's funny you talk about that. Like my neighbor back home or from here, he played for USC for 4.5, 5 years. He was actually a redshirt. He was actually a walk-on at USC, and I was kind of surprised. But very, very cool guy. Was one of my dad's neighbors, and ended up going to the NFL and played for the 49ers and won 2 Super Bowl rings and a national championship ring at USC. But it's like, hey man, and he just brought him to the gym one time. Pretty cool, man. Haven't seen some Super Bowl rings in a while, but man, they were awesome. They were cool.
What the fuck are you talking about? Haven't seen them in a while. Who just sees Super Bowl rings?
Hey man, if you know people, you know people. I'm just saying. I mean, but I don't know. We have coaches that played, some coaches that know people that have them. But I mean, I know even like the middle school I went to too. Priest Holmes, actually at the time when I was in middle school, his daughter was actually going to school the same time I was, and we didn't know it was Priest Holmes until he showed up. And he had a championship ring, and we knew it was Priest Holmes. We could tell. And I was like, man, this is cool. A Longhorn legend to go, man, this is cool to see a guy that his daughter's playing volleyball and having fun. It was crazy.
Man, I don't even know. I think with like athletes, I think I would be so nervous to even ask somebody like if that's them, right? Because like you think it's them, and I guess depending on the athlete, right? Like, because like an NBA player, it's like,
right?
Yeah, I mean he's 6'9".
Yeah,
like,
you know he's an NBA player.
Like I seen Anthony Davis,
right?
And I like, you're not gonna miss that guy.
No, he just stands out like a.
This is back when I think he was with New Orleans, but they were here playing the Spurs or whatever, and they were just walking downtown. Me and Jason.
Really?
Yeah, me and Jason were downtown for a car expo, and dude, he's just sitting there walking.
Yeah.
Huge.
Just
and you just
big
see,
old
that
big old unibrow.
And you're like, and me and him looked at each other. We're like, hey,
it's Anthony Davis.
That's that guy.
That's that
guy.
Well, how can you miss that? I hate to say it. How can you miss that unibrow from a mile away? How could you miss that?
But then I think too, NFL players, a lot of them aren't gigantic guys.
No, they're not.
A lot of them were like 200 pounds, 6'1", 6'2", which bigger than I am.
Kind of like my size.
But you know, you could probably overlook them.
Yeah, you can. And sometimes the reason why, like I said, when I went and worked out at my old gym when I was like years ago, that's the reason why I knew my neighbor, because he wore his old stuff from back in the day. He wore his old USC shorts. He had his USC hat. He had his USC hoodie. He had all of it. You could tell though he kind of stuck out though like a sore thumb, but you knew he was somebody.
Do you remember that time when we were at your pool and that fucking like retired MLB pitcher or catcher or whatever?
Yeah, it was a catcher. Yeah. He was from Dallas originally. And I remember that.
I remember he just like rolled up and just casually was like, "Yeah, dude, like I'm retired MLB."
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
forearms were so huge, and
huge,
calves just gigantic, and you're like,
"What?"
Yeah, I don't even. That's random.
You never would have thought. Sometimes it's where you least expect. You never know, because the reason why I say that too, because I mean, I've been around some pro athletes, collegiate athletes a lot. I mean, like when I was a kid, actually, I was actually a ball boy for the Spurs 4 times, actually. 2 times at the Alamo Dome and 2 times.
You let him molest you?
Nope, I didn't. No,
you a ball boy?
No, not the ball boy. But I was on that, like, sheesh, whatever.
They use one basket. Like, what do you?
No, I would roll out the racks of balls that they had them for the players, and do that stuff and hand it off to them. And but I did that. I would catch the ball. And there was one time where actually I played 1-on-1 with Tim Duncan. I played 1-on-1 with Avery Johnson.
Bullshit.
I
Get
did.
out of here.
I'm serious. I'm serious.
Get out of here.
There was actually one camp, though, I went to, too. I went to a George Gervin camp, and I played 1-on-1 with the Iceman. Like literally, I played 1-on-1 with the Iceman, and he gave me a signed autographed ball that said the Iceman on it. It was cool.
I call
No,
shenanigans.
no shenanigans, no shenanigans. I'm being serious.
Next time you're bringing that fucking ball, and
I'm gonna try to find that ball. We'll try to look. We'll try to find it.
we're gonna put it on here.
But okay,
I'm calling shenanigans.
okay,
on
he
that,
called
bro.
shenanigans, but I mean, I know because I grew up with it. But I mean, to know him, I met Larry Coker when I was at UTSA.
I know who that is.
So he coached the University of Miami. I saw his University of Miami championship ring when he coached like Ray Lewis, Frank Gore, all those guys down in Miami. Because when I was at UTSA, everyone's like, "Who's your head coach?" Larry Coker. I was like, "Whoa!" I was like, "Oh my God, this is a Miami legend who's coached a lot of NFL guys. He's got to."
Wait, he's at UTSA?
He was back in 2011. He was there. He was there first. He was there for about 3 years, and then he got let go.
He was a coach?
Yeah, he's a head coach. Yeah, he was a head coach.
UTSA had a football team?
In 2011.
That was right when they came out, right?
Yeah, that was like I was my senior year. They came out with the first football team that year, and in 2011 they started the program.
Because I was thinking,
is you were still in high school when I was going to college, and so
for like a year. But I was thinking because I had a scholarship to go to UTSA.
Yeah, so it
and
was Coker.
Yeah, I guess that's like a big jumble.
Yeah,
because like. Mm-hmm. I remember, like, I had a scholarship to go over there, and I just, like...
Yeah, because like I said, 4 or 5 of the friends of high school, they all got recruited. Like, my buddy Robert Chapman got recruited, and, I mean, he was the best all-state, all-center in San Antonio at the time when we were in high school. And but it was kind of shocking. Very, very cool. And but he was there for about 3 years, and after 3 years, Frank Wilson came in, and he was the former defensive coordinator at LSU. And he wasn't too bad, but then he only had 2 okay seasons, and then they fired him, and it didn't last.
I mean, UTS ain't looking too bad right now. Honestly, dude, when they opened the season, I can't remember the team, but
Houston.
It was like number 24 team or whatever.
Yeah,
I was kind of like, okay. Like, y'all lost.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, like, y'all were competitive against the ranked opponent.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, maybe. And then y'all kind of lost some, like, games y'all shouldn't have lost.
Well, we were ranked as high as 13 last year.
Yeah, but I was against that. Because what did I tell y'all? I said, y'all don't play nobody.
I know we don't. And I agree. But
it's like, if y'all were to play, my whole point was if you're ranked number 13.
Yeah.
If you play the number 25 team,
yeah, we can.
Y'all were probably gonna get waxed.
Of course,
because of who the 25 team was.
Yeah,
or exactly. Like what it takes to actually
do it.
Get into all because y'all were undefeated.
Yeah,
which cool. Like I don't want to take away from what UTSA did.
Well, because it was.
But that's when we start looking into okay, well, how hard does somebody have to work to get ranked?
And it takes a while. Like I said, it's because the strength of schedule. It's the play.
Because why is A&M and Texas and teams like that not ranked, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you know that they would probably wax. Like they did beat UTSA.
UT did, yeah. The one year we did play A&M though, we hung with A&M. We did. We were in Kyle Field, and this is before A&M even went big. They weren't even big until they jumped to the SEC, and I think we still played them. I think they were in the SEC at the time. And we gave them a test. But I mean, every year we had more and more NFL talent come through.
But my point is like compare that 13th ranked team to an unranked bottom of the SEC type team.
Oh yeah, we would get waxed.
You know what I mean?
We would get waxed.
That's my point. You're gonna take a bottom SEC team.
You take like a Vanderbilt. You take it like a Missouri.
I mean, maybe UTSA is. I think it would probably be competitive.
Of course.
But I don't think it's gonna be like you would expect a number 13 team to wax.
No, because it's funny you talk about the SEC because next year, and I saw on our schedule already, we're playing Tennessee next year in Knoxville. We're playing.
Is Hooker a senior or junior?
He's a junior, but I think he's coming out though.
He fucking should.
I think he's coming out.
Yeah,
I don't think Hooker's gonna stay. I think he leaves because after beating Bama, why not? Why mess up your resume?
I think he should stay, or I think he should go.
I think he should go because his like you said, he's third on Mel Kiper's rankings of quarterbacks.
Yeah, but dude,
But,
I don't trust that either because Quentin
either,
Ewers or whatever his name is from Texas is on there, and I'm like, don't you have to be a winning QB?
Well, it's because he's a national brand from Texas. He's from Texas. That's why. But I mean, but look at it. He said, where did he go play first? He didn't play anything. He said Ohio State, and he signed an NIL deal for $300K to sit on the bench and wear the Ohio State uniform.
That's just like the running back from what is it, Bijan Robinson?
He has that Lamborghini deal,
which is fine, but he's played like trash this year.
But he gets paid $5 million every freaking semester.
But that's kind of why I'm against the NIL deals.
I agree. I don't like it either.
Like,
I don't like it at all.
I think it's okay to have incentives,
Mm-hmm.
but I do think it's wrong to give
college athletes
an 18, 19-year-old a Lamborghini and say, hey, dude,
yeah,
I don't really care how you play.
Right.
Oh, and by the way, if you don't like this Lamborghini, come pick up this G-Wagon or come pick up this Rolls or come pick. Then it's like, so we're rewarding Bijan Robinson?
Yeah. Well, it's because they kind of consider.
Like, you remember, what game was it? What game was it where they were literally winning and he fumbles the ball and gives up the whole game? It was a close game.
I don't know. What was it this year?
Yeah, it was a close game.
It probably had to be the Bama game. It had to.
I don't know if it was Bama. It was a huge game.
Because it wasn't Oklahoma.
No, that wasn't even close.
It wasn't. Or was it Texas Tech? Maybe Texas Tech.
I'm not sure. I would have to look it up. But it's like the final drive. They're going down. They're gonna win the game.
It was probably Bama.
And
it had to be because they had the ball.
He fumbles it.
They had the ball, so I think that's why Bama won.
Well, he fumbles it, and whoever the team was just wins. And it's like, that's the guy you're paying
$5 million to drive your Lamborghini
like,
to school.
That's the guy?
Yeah.
Which I don't want to hate on the guy because he could probably whoop my ass in every way.
Probably.
He's stud.
Probably.
But it's like, okay, well, at what point? Because it's not like the NFL, right? Like the NFL, you get paid for what you've done and what you're gonna do, right? So like, you come in, you got a rookie 3-4 year deal,
and you get endorsement
well, if you're
deals,
gonna resign, like when you resign for the big contract, you know, like they know, hey, this is what kind of guy this is.
Right.
In college, you don't get that.
No,
you come out of high school, you're whatever star recruit, sometimes not even, and then it's like, well, we got to decide off of virtually nothing who probably redshirted his first 2 years, coming in as a junior or senior, and we're going to just hand him the keys to the whole building and say, we're hitching, you know what I mean? We're getting hitched.
Right, exactly.
We're giving you all of the booster money because we think, but you're never giving them kids an opportunity to be hungry, to work for it, which... cool for their families.
Right, and it helps their families too, and I agree.
But I think that's eventually going to kind of hinder, like what happens if there was this kid who's going to be a stud?
Yeah,
stud.
Of an athlete, yeah.
But then he gets an NIL deal, and he's just like,
okay, I'm good.
We're cool.
Yeah, and
I got $5 million.
Well, and that's the thing that's like, I mean, you take, like I said, I mean, like back in the day, I mean, like all the guys that I knew from high school, we both knew from high school. I mean, you'd start taking those NIL rules, and like when we were younger and stuff, I mean, shoot, just imagine all the money. There was guys from UTSA that I knew, like, hey man, like if I had NIL rules and all that stuff, and I was playing, hey, where's my cut of the cash? Where's my money? Because it's
whatever.
But that's what some of them say.
Dude,
that's
everybody was still getting incentives. So like that's the shit that irritates me.
But they gave them no grants and other stuff besides that. They didn't give them NIL rules. That's what NIL.
No, it wasn't an NIL contract. But you're literally getting paid to show up places. You're getting, you know what I mean? You're still you're getting incentives, and that was the whole deal with Nick Saban and Jimbo.
Yeah,
where
the whole
where he's sitting there saying Jimbo's buying athletes, and Jimbo's like, yeah, you've been doing it for
15, 20 years.
What are you? And then like other professional athletes are like, I ain't saying I got a contract. Well, I wasn't broke.
Right. That's correct. That's true.
I wasn't broke.
That's true. Yeah.
I would get paid $1,000 just show up to a joint. And I got free drinks.
Right. Exactly.
Free drinks, ladies. Bring my friends.
Right.
More people I brought, more money we made.
Well, it was funny. I mean, like I know some players. It's the same. Like you said, how like Marcus Davenport was a big player. Like when he got picked from the 12th overall to, like I said, to the New Orleans Saints, and was kind of shocked. But I think the rumor was, I mean, that they talked with Tom Benson and some other stuff, and got him to New Orleans. He had him come do a visit and all that, but they were impressed by him. But I mean, sometimes it's just like I said, it's a pain, it's a deal, it's something that they don't say behind the wraps. They don't say it. You know
I
what
just
mean?
like, I don't know. I and maybe I'm putting too much emphasis on just the NIL deals because I guess people have been making money for like all time. But
Yeah.
it's just kind of like one of those things where I don't want to stunt
Mm-hmm.
somebody's growth
No.
into a player
No.
because I do kind of feel like part of the thing that makes somebody turn into a professional athlete in a
Mm-hmm.
lot of cases
Yeah.
there are some of those outliers
Mm-hmm.
that don't like they come from wealthy families they
Right.
never really had a hard and they just
Yeah.
want to like they
wanna
just
get
want a
there.
good life
Right. That's correct.
like they just have that thing in them that
Right.
competitive itch
Itch.
that they just want but then I feel like there's these guys that come from bad neighborhoods or grew up broke or poor
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
well then now that they got $1 million from an NIL deal
Right.
are they still if they're just doing it to make a living
Right.
right to get
Mhm.
out of their situation
Mm-hmm.
will they compete with the same hunger
Right.
and I guess it depends on the person but it's like how many of those guys can
Rely on.
like because you get these guys that come out and they're hungry
Yeah. Yeah.
right
Mm-hmm.
you get these guys that's been broke their whole life some of these stories they were homeless before they got drafted
Yeah.
and all of just these real world like
Yeah.
just
you
odd
kinda decide.
odd stories
Right.
and then it's like oh but now I'm making more money than anybody else because I'm a star college athlete which don't get me wrong I think college athletes should make some money because the school is profiting off your name
Of course, exactly. That's
right
correct.
like
Mhm.
SEC has its own fucking network
Right, and that same way, like you take like Earl Campbell for example. I don't know if you know his backstory, and my dad told me this too. So years ago, of course, Earl Campbell was a good running back when he played, but even in high school, he grew up dirt poor. I don't know if you saw that because they did the documentary on NFL Network.
slow down
He was very, 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 very. He didn't have a lot of money growing up. He grew up in Tyler, Texas, but I mean, he had the it factor about him. But my dad told me that the school gave him a job, and he was actually just a janitor part time at the school. They didn't pay him, but then they bought him a car. They bought Earl Campbell a car and go, hey, here's a job, or work steady job. Here's a car. You're good. You don't have to do anything. Just show up, play football, and that's all you got to do. And then once you do that, he was rolling in dope.
but that's fucking Earl Campbell
Yeah, I know.
right
Yeah, yeah,
like that's
Mhm.
Earl Campbell
yeah. That's
and even a car is a car
yeah.
but it's not $1 million
No, he got a car and a job. That's what they gave
you know what I
him.
mean
Yeah.
so it's like and I guess like once NIL deals kind of just started coming out
Mm-hmm.
you started hearing all of these stories about these backroom deals or like where they would wire the aunt money
Mm-hmm.
the aunt would go buy the car
Yeah.
and then gift it to the player and it was never to the player it was through a family
Right.
and
Family
it was
friend,
like
yeah.
some of these players never even knew
No,
either
no.
they were just always working with the family member like there's a bunch of these stories that you hear and then it's like I think ultimately it all comes down to the same thing
Mm-hmm.
is it good or bad
Right.
for collegiate athletes
Right.
I think it's good from the sense of you're making money earlier
Right. Mm-hmm.
so I guess for those guys that are just really competitive and they're gonna be that way regardless of the amount of money in their bank
Mm-hmm.
like a Michael Parsons
Yeah.
I don't think there is enough money in the whole world
Right.
that you're gonna give that guy
Right.
that's gonna take away that thing Tom Brady
Same
I
thing.
don't think like we were talking about last night
Yeah. Yeah.
he's literally giving up his wife and kids
For football.
for football.
Yeah.
I
and I'm
don't think
like,
that there is a single thing that you could give that guy
Yeah.
that is going to
Change his mind.
take that itch away
Right.
for him to. Dude, he's 45.
Yeah. 45, and he thinks he's still gonna play till he's 50. And I hate to say it, I don't think
He's
he will.
not.
He's not
This
playing
is
until
his,
he's 50.
I think he said that this is his last year.
I agree.
But then after you hear all of the stuff about like the divorce and all of this,
Yeah.
it almost seems like it was already predetermined when he made the decision to come back.
Yeah, well, I think he did it right. I think when they announced it, that's why he went to retirement first, and that's probably why he announced, "Hey, I'm coming back for
But
football,"
I think that
because of it.
But I think that there may have been a conversation before he came back.
Of course he did. He
That
had
I
to.
think that him and Giselle was just like,
Well,
if you go back,
yeah, and then
we're done.
We're out. Yeah,
We're done.
We're out of here.
So, like, I don't, maybe because I'm not, I guess I'm competitive. I'm not uber competitive in that sense that I would give up
Oh no! I mean, if I was a family
wife
man,
and kids.
no,
and,
if I was a family man, I would. I mean, as much as we both love football. I mean, I wouldn't give it up for my kids or my wife. I wouldn't. I mean, I would love the game, but I would walk away from the game honorably and just say, walk away. Hey, I'm done. I know my body can't take it no more. I'm 45 years old and I can't do it.
But we're speaking about this through we can't even fucking scratch
Oh, no.
the level of competitiveness that guy
Not
has.
even close. No,
Like,
yeah, we can't.
you don't end up being the greatest of all time
Yeah.
without
because of it.
being psycho.
Of course.
A psycho.
Yeah.
Psychopath.
Well, and like you said, like you said, knowing how being a Patriots fan for so long, you watched what he did when he played with Belichick and what he did, and then for so many years had that scheme, and then ends up going to Tampa Bay, where he calls in Bruce Arians and says, "Hey, I want you to be my head coach," and then Todd Bowles is his coordinator, and then Brian Leftwich, who was his OC, no.
Just OC.
OC, that's what I thought. Yeah, he was his OC. But he didn't want him to leave. He knew that, okay, he's going to fit my scheme because I like this guy. He's going to let me call whatever I want. And that's why when they won the Super Bowl, what was it, 2 years ago in 2020 or something, they won the Super Bowl like that. But
COVID year.
Yeah, COVID year, yeah. But I think in the long run, it helped him a lot. But I think now with him getting older, I think it's now he's biting the bullet now just because of, hey, I'm giving up my family to keep pursuing what I love. But I mean, hey, that football thing will eventually come to an end. You got to be a family man at the very end. You're a family man, so you live and you die, and you never give it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just don't really and I probably wouldn't ever understand. I mean, dude, he was retired.
Yeah, he was retired for 40 days.
He was retired, then decided
unretire
to come back,
War.
And now, like, and I guess we're still pretty early in the season.
Mm-hmm.
But every single week, it's almost like
he looks like he's slowing down.
But it's literally like, dude, why?
He's making throws that he doesn't usually
Okay,
make.
now, do I think that he would trade his relationship with his wife and kids maybe for another ring? Possibly, right?
Yeah,
Like, I
yeah.
think that's probably what he was aiming for.
Yeah.
But it's like,
but he's
are
already,
you going to trade your wife and kids for a fucking 7-10 season?
No, screw that. I mean,
Is it 18 or 17 games? It's 18 now, right?
It's 17 games.
It's 17 games?
Yeah, because they have
Okay.
a bye week, so it's 17 games.
Just want to make sure my
my
numbers were right.
Yeah, so right. Yeah, so if they say, let's just say hypothetically, they go 7-10. But I mean, hey,
But you don't want to lose your whole family for a 7-10.
No, because
And you're going to retire.
yeah, you want to kind of.
And it's the only year, or the only every other year,
Right.
you were supposed to go statistically to the Super Bowl.
Right.
And you're going to probably have one of the worst seasons you've
ever
had.
Ever since when there was one year in New England, I think it was.
He's had some shitty.
I think I want to say it was 2001. They were real crummy until they got on a big Super Bowl run because they were real crummy in 2001. 2003 was the one.
Defense.
Yeah, it was the defense. But I mean, offensive wise, 2001 he was very. 2003 they kind of came back, but I mean,
Well, a lot of years
year. Yeah, he was, but he just had to be just average. But I think in the long run too, that's what's keeping like going too is his being on his vegan diet. I mean, his vegan diet's been big. That's when it's helped his body, but I think in the long run though,
he looks unhealthy.
Really?
This season?
Yeah,
he looks unhealthy.
No, I haven't seen.
Like he doesn't look like he's eating.
Well, like I say, he still do that vegan diet. That's what he's still doing.
Like, I don't know if he's eating. I don't know what he's eating. I don't know. I mean, cool. I don't honestly. I don't really have an opinion
I don't either. I mean, overall though. I mean, he's. I just the problem is though
because he has so much money. You can do vegan and supplement
yeah,
everything.
You can do all that, but in the long run. Like, why would you give up to go one more ring and have a shot at another ring, even though you've already exceeded as being the GOAT in the National Football League? That you want to go get one more ring that you don't really need to do it. You've already passed Joe Montana. You passed like there was someone else had 6 rings too. But I mean, he exceeded and beat Joe Montana. That was his childhood idol was Joe Montana growing up in the Bay Area. That's what. But
maybe it's because he has false confidence.
Probably.
I mean, think about it.
Well,
in his whole career, when has he ever really had to be humbled?
He never has.
You know what I mean?
He never has.
Like, every single team he's been a part of, I mean, I guess there was a few years with, like, Edelman, where, like, okay, the team around him wasn't spectacular.
No.
But he's never had like, when was the last time they've had a rebuild?
Never.
Or been on a team that has needed a rebuild. You really never had it.
Never. He only in the 20-something years that he was with, or
like look at the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
The teams that Tom Brady has been on has never done that.
No, he's gone. He's done his time and he knows his right. But in the long run, it's like, hey man, let's just say hypothetically, you do put him in a rebuild mode. Problem is though, does he ever come back in a rebuild team
He doesn't
mode?
need to come back.
No, he doesn't.
He is. To me, right now, Tom Brady playing in the NFL, watching him play is like watching a Mike Tyson or Evander Holyfield in an exhibition match in their 60s.
Kind of, but
it's legitimately like, Bubba, I know that you're the greatest of all time. Like, I understand that you could still probably whoop most people's ass.
Right, exactly.
But, like, y'all left the game all the way up here, and now this little exhibition or whatever you're trying to attempt to do, it's almost because people have recency bias.
Right.
I can sit there and say Tom Brady is the greatest of all time, but if he plays another 2 years and he's just stinking it up,
he just the problem is like you look at. I remember I don't know. You go back when they played Atlanta this year. Remember the one sack that I called a roughing the passer on? Remember? But here's the problem. I don't even agree with that call because the problem is though you look at that pass. The problem is the ball was still in his hand. He didn't throw the ball. Jason or was it Jared or what's his name?
I think it's Barrett.
Yeah, Barrett or whatever. But he got the sack,
which was a perfect defensive call.
Very good call.
When you look at the way that he rolled around, came in.
Yeah,
dude, Tom had no idea where he was coming.
Side. He didn't see him,
and that irritates me because I'm like, why is it okay that you can chop block, you can do all of this crazy stuff to a defensive player, including most of the time shoving and pushing off, and they won't call it.
No, they won't.
Right?
Nope.
But you cannot sack the QB. Like, do you remember the hit on Joe Theismann that ended his career?
Yep. I remember that. Yep.
Get a better tackle.
It was devastating.
If that is a part of the game. If you do not want your 45-year-old QB to get the shit kicked out of him, get a better offensive line.
And I think
sign a good tackle. Spend the money. If you don't want him on his rear end, that's a part of the game. That's a part of the scheme.
And I think what they were doing is they were protecting him, even though it was stupid. But I'm like, dude, it's the National Football League. Anything goes. You're gonna get pummeled. You're gonna get popped. I mean, who knows? Maybe who knows? Maybe this could be the year.
If you can't handle that hit,
no, you gotta get out.
If you can't handle that hit,
you gotta get out.
You're in the NFL.
Yeah, you gotta get out if you can't handle it.
Right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Get out.
Yeah, you have to because
I'm sorry.
I think the way that it's going with him right now, if somebody puts one good lick on Tom Brady and does that, I hate to say it, he may be in a wheelchair. Put one good hit the way that they fumbled him. It could.
But it just doesn't. To me, it's like football is a game of strategy.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right?
Right.
When you're on defense, get the guy with the ball on the ground.
That's correct.
That is it.
Right.
But I can't even tackle the guy
And you call a flag.
for a sack.
That should have been.
Dude, or like the Frank Clark,
Yeah, same thing.
where
yeah,
he literally
against-
strips the ball.
Yeah, and picks up and could have had a.
Strips the ball, and that one of the most amazing plays that you can have, strip sack.
And I could have fumble
And-
sack and recovery to go to touchdown. That's what it was. It was going to be a touchdown. That's what it was going to be.
And then
Yeah.
it's
And they
taken back
Yeah.
because a ref decides, oh, you're not supposed to do that. Bro, it's the NFL.
Yeah, exactly.
It is the NFL.
That's correct.
I like all sympathy
Mm-hmm.
to somebody who like a Tua situation.
Yeah, Tua was
Right.
different. To me, I hate to say it the way, and I remember watching it with my buddy. The way he got hit, he got freaking just clobbered, and I hate it's almost like he got
He
pile
smacked-
drived into the ground.
He smacked the back of his head.
Yeah, and he did. But the problem is though, talk about the Tua thing. It goes back to the doctors. The doctors they cleared him 3 days before he had played that Sunday
But
before.
I still okay. So
The
the
doctors get blamed for that.
The Tua situation is weird,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So nobody has really came out and said
No.
that the first so whenever he got the first issue, I don't
Yeah.
want to call it a concussion because it's nothing has been confirmed on that.
They didn't say it.
But
Right.
the NFL chief medical examiner came out and said, we tested him
Yeah.
every single day of that week,
They did.
and he passed. The head coach, Mike McDaniels,
Yep.
came out and said,
He's fine.
he's fine. Like, dude, I have talked to him. I've asked him, are you okay? Any memory loss, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody who had talked to him, he was doing interviews.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. He's good. He's quick. He's responding. He's got a
Right.
personality. He's not
Right.
overly aggressive.
Right.
But then it's like the NFL, the ones that work with the PA,
Right.
the Players
Your players,
Association,
Yeah.
came out and said, hey, you could play.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
You're
So
good.
then it's like, okay, so we can blame it on the doctors.
Mm-hmm.
We can blame it on the doctors. But it wasn't just the doctors.
No.
It was
wasn't
a
just them.
series of people in the NFL, outside the NFL. He even got outside opinions on it.
Yeah.
And everybody said the same thing. They're like, dude, he's fine.
Yeah, because luckily, I think
So-
they were playing the Bengals. I think that weekend, but
Well, that's when he got hurt.
yeah, but I mean, I know that he did that in the long run. But I think because once he got picked up, went to the Cincinnati medical doc, like the clinic close to it, and he got cleared. I think it was like towards the end of the game, he was already on the flight back home, back to South Beach. He was already on his way back to South Beach, and he was fine.
Which he did come out and say, he's like, I don't even remember going to the
No.
hospital. He's
Yeah.
like, I remember some of the conversation at the hospital.
Uh-huh.
And then he's like, I don't really remember anything
else.
else besides that.
Mhm.
But like my whole point with it is like everybody jumped to arms over that second hit, but I'm like, but there was so much involved
Right.
with him being cleared to play where it's like, what are we? So we're just not gonna
Yeah. What?
pay
what are we-
attention to it.
Yeah, but I mean,
And now he's coming back.
he's coming
And it's
back
like, okay, we understand that he may have just suffered 2 concussions within a
a week.
5-day
Oh,
stretch.
yeah, 5 days. Yeah, and that's
Right.
close. That's cutting it close because you never know, especially with concussions. I mean, I never had concussions. I don't know if you did, but I mean, when it comes to concussion protocol, I mean, you got to have at least a week and a half. Not
I've
2
had
weeks.
them, but the problem with the concussion is you feel okay.
Yeah, you don't
So,
feel
like,
it until later. That's when
Now,
you feel it.
well, I mean, like you'll feel it, but then you'll start feeling better,
Yeah,
right? So
Yeah.
then you'll start being like, okay, I can perform, I can do this, I can think.
Correct.
I'm not sensitive to light no more. I'm not
Right.
like I'm not having these symptoms anymore. And
Right.
now, because obviously you're an athlete,
right.
I want to go out and show my team that I can do it.
I can still play.
But your brain is still
your
brain is still comcompromised.
Right, exactly.
So then it's like you're going through all of this stuff, and then it's a weird thing because it's not like a bruise.
No.
That you can see.
It sticks with you. Like I said, you kind of go back to the CTE or whatever. It's the same. Like you take like Antonio Brown. You take all the guys that have had big old head trauma.
That one's a weird one, right?
No, his is weird. And then who else? There was one other one.
He was never the same after that Burfict hit.
Well, he that was the one in Pittsburgh, right? That was when he was still playing in Pittsburgh. Yeah, because he was a linebacker.
Perfect.
Dude, he leveled him.
He had a chance to be a really, really good. He was just a dirty player.
Yeah, and that's probably why they let him go.
But like he was so good.
He was kind of like you kind of take like you look like I mean I know people are going to consider like James Harrison. They think he was a dirty player too. But he rocked people hard. He hit people hard. Ray Lewis did the same thing.
Isn't that crazy though that they played in the same damn league?
Yeah.
And now we can't even sack somebody.
Not anymore. You take the guys, like I said, you go as back as like you go back, like you said, like back to the like Brian Urlacher days.
Ray Lewis would have just had to retire.
Yeah, him or you take Dick Butkus. You take Dick Butkus of all people. Him, Mike Singletary. They leveled
Ed
Reed. That
Brian
man was
Dawkins.
Dion,
Roy Williams, Pac-Man Jones,
Batman,
like dude,
Pac-Man.
Dude,
there was so many.
There was like so many of the dude. Do you remember the Roy Williams that played for Dallas?
Yep.
You came across the middle,
and he leveled you.
He would chomping at the bit.
Yeah, he was like
Brian Dawkins.
He was ready to take your head off.
Dude, there was a play against the Steelers for Brian Dawkins. Dude, picks Jerome Bettis up.
Yeah.
Like full stride.
Yeah, the
bus.
Picks
260, 70-pound Jerome Bettis up off of the ground and slams him while the dude is full speed.
I remember,
and you're like, what?
Brian Dawkins.
How do you...
And he was like, what, 210 pounds, 215 pounds, something like that?
Retire a Bronco.
He was so little, man. He like I said, to tackle the bus.
So was Ed Reed, though. Yeah. Ed Reed was small, too, but, dude, he would lay the wood.
He laid people out. He did. I mean, Baltimore defense was disgusting, too. They were gross.
But that goes back to, like, the type of – that's how you play games.
Right.
Dude, the aggression in a defense,
it's not
that is part of the strategy.
Yeah.
You don't – I challenge you to come across the middle.
Well,
because if you come across the middle,
you're going to get laid out.
We're laying you out.
You're laying wood. That's what's going to happen.
Our scheme is – we're taking away the edges and we're taking away the middle.
And we're gonna crash.
You're just gonna have to find who you want to get hit.
Right, exactly.
That's it.
Just take a shot, absorb it.
Now you can't do it.
No, because like I said, it's the protection of the CTE. It's all that stuff. I mean, like I said, you take the hardest hitting linebackers, you take the hardest hitting corners, harder hitting safeties, and they'll still lay the wood like they used to. But I mean, you take like modern day, you take like Devin White. When Devin White was when they were part of that Super Bowl winning team, he was a hard hitting linebacker, and even to this day, Devin Wood still hits pretty freaking hard too.
I mean, you got some guys that are hard hitting.
Yeah, you do still. Yeah, you still do now. Yeah,
you got some hard hitting guys.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Aaron Donald is still there. I mean, Aaron Donald's alpha amongst the alphas.
Oh, easy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and and you take Von Miller too. Look at Von Miller when he left the Rams, and he's still a hard-hitting linebacker for the Buffalo Bills. He is disgusting. To me, he's the modern day right now. Modern day Ray Lewis is Von Miller. I hate to say it. I mean,
dude, I'm sorry, man.
Who is better than Von Miller right now, linebacker-wise?
Micah.
Dude,
really? Really?
Nope.
Micah's not.
He's there, but I still think
Micah is an off-the-ball. He plays 4 or 5 different positions.
He plays linebacker. He plays D-line. He plays 3 of those.
And he is tied for sacks.
Yeah.
He is, I think, the leader or like right up there with QB pressures.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, I agree with that.
He has almost a perfect pass defense rating. Like, dude, Lawrence Taylor when they were Dude,
Talk about Lawrence Taylor.
No,
Oh my God.
Lawrence Taylor was at the Giants game and even came out and said it and was like, "Hey, I wanted to see it with my eyes." He's a guy.
He is, and I
Think about it.
In that division,
Dude,
Lawrence Taylor.
No. I'm talking about Micah.
Oh,
like Lawrence Taylor is saying that about Micah. Micah is 2 years in.
Yeah.
He doesn't even fully understand the schemes.
No.
And what's coming at him. Imagine 3, 4, 5 years in. Dude, think about, he had 16 and a half sacks, I think, last year.
Yeah, and JJ.
And he wasn't even an on-the-ball rusher.
No, and TJ Watt had 19 and a half.
He had, he's a DN.
Well, yeah.
Micah's not.
But he was a linebacker, too. Like, no, Watt's a linebacker. He's both.
He doesn't play off the ball.
Yeah, he does. Watt plays off the ball. He's
not in Arizona.
No, he's always played linebacker. Watt's always played linebacker.
Dude,
They put him in DN just because of when they had Bud Dupree go out. They had some other guys go out.
But that's all he plays now.
He plays linebacker. He plays linebacker, yes. We'll look it up, but I'm pretty sure TJ Watt still plays linebacker. He doesn't play DN. He plays
TJ
linebacker.
Watt is a DN.
He's a linebacker when he plays.
TJ Watt.
TJ, not JJ.
TJ is a DN.
No, that's JJ. JJ is a
both of them.
TJ.
Dude, TJ, they even move him into D tackle.
No,
they shift him around.
He's not even that big to be a D tackle. No.
You ain't got to be big.
But he's not.
He's a monster.
He is a monster.
We'll
have to look at it. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they move him around that line.
I know they move him around.
But anyways, like my point was, when you're talking about linebackers, I don't think any player. Yeah. Now this isn't to discount Von Miller or anybody else what they're doing.
No.
But I don't think that there is any player as of right now that can hold Micah Parsons' girdle. In the sense of what he's doing.
Probably not.
But what he's doing with that defense, everything he's doing, you're talking about a big dude that can run 4-3, cover, rush the ball, line up at D tack, rush the B gap, rush the A gap, come off the edge. Right. You literally don't know what he's doing.
No, you don't.
And by the way, he's up there with sacks with guys that only rush the passer. Right. While he's dropping back in coverage. So then it's like, so you have almost the most QB pressures, almost the most sacks. Because I haven't looked at the updated. I know he was before last week.
Yeah, he was. I think he still leads it now. He's past Watt.
But and by the way, he's playing coverage.
Yeah,
but he's up there with all of the other guys that exclusively rush the quarterback. Right. I just don't think you're going to get much better than that. And then on top of that, let's just get away from the stats that he's doing. Right. The amount of attention that he deserves. Right. Dorrance Armstrong's coming through. D. Law's coming through. Leighton Vander Esch is coming through. Neville Gallimore's coming through. Right. Odighizuwa's coming through. Right. You're having all of these guys that have multiple sacks on a season because you have an Aaron Donald, Von Miller-esque defender that you have to throw a tackle on this guy plus a tight end and maybe chip him with a third guy. Right. That's like, who else?
I mean, it's kind of hard. Like I said, those are really the best two linebackers, honestly, in the game right now. I mean, the two best.
When you're saying like actual linebacker, right? Like I'm not referring to hybrids. I'm not talking.
Well, if you take linebacker, like I said, linebacker overall, who is a true linebacker, Von Miller. I mean, because if Micah Parsons plays all those positions, Von Miller only plays linebacker. He does not play.
That's not true. Not with Buffalo.
He don't play DN. He does.
Yeah, he does.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
He never played DN and A&M. He played linebacker the whole time.
But
played linebacker when he played for
all
the Rams.
the time. But you can shift.
Yeah, you can.
Based off of scheme.
Yeah, of course.
Right now with the Bills, he's playing a lot of up on the line DN. I'm not saying that he doesn't back up, But like, dude, you're talking about him getting sacks and stuff like that. He's not doing that from
the
a
only
linebacker.
the only
point.
reason why, like I said, he is playing DN right now, like I said, because
You just said he wasn't playing DN.
well, you said he was. Well, either way, but you said he was. But I mean, if they so like I said, if they will put him down as a DN on the line because they have to move the DN because the Ed Oliver is out on that D line. He's out for right now. Until he comes back, he's going back to his linebacker.
Here's
position.
the thing:
That's
if
why.
you're not putting Von Miller on the line,
Mm-hmm.
you're doing a disservice.
Yeah,
right?
Because you got to have some kind of pressure.
You're doing a disservice. You're
Right.
you're taking one of the most potent pass rushers in the game. Right. Still, freaking still, like you're taking one of the most potent guys.
Right.
And what you just nah, man. Don't do what you're best at. Let's play some coverage.
Right.
Get out of here. Get out of here, dude. No, you want Von Miller on the ball.
Yeah.
Rushing a passer.
Right.
That's what he's good at.
That's what he's always been.
And that's what. And you give him another and that D line's pretty stout.
Oh, like I said, you got
you remember him when he had D Ware?
Yeah.
Bro. I mean, that was a.
Well, like I said, you take last year. Like I said, when he was with the Rams, he had Aaron Donald, he had Michael Brockers, he had he was at linebacker.
It was unfair.
It
was unfair.
But he was at linebacker, and you have Jalen Ramsey, and you had somebody else on the back end or whatever corner. But I mean, they had a stout defense. Their defense was good. But now,
dude,
I mean,
they had the Rams. I still do not fully understand how they have the roster they have. Because it's I mean, the only cap is bullshit.
It is, and I mean,
salary cap is bullshit.
Because they keep changing every year.
But there's no way.
Yeah.
There is no way that you sign Matthew Stafford to that deal.
Mm-hmm.
You have Cooper Kupp. You sign OBJ. You had Robert Woods.
Yeah.
You have Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
That you're paying all this money to.
Right.
You have Jalen Ramsey that you gave him max contract just to get him from Jacksonville.
Right.
Dude, the list goes on where it's like we were under the understanding of with the current day salary cap, you can afford to pay 2 or 3 star players.
That's correct.
And that's probably saying that the rest of the pieces probably ain't that good around them.
No, I agree. Yeah,
but then you look, same thing with Arizona right now.
Mm-hmm.
What? You got Kyler Murray, you have Hollywood Brown, you have D-Hop, now you have Robbie Anderson, you have J.J. Watt, you have Buda Baker,
James Conner.
Dude, where is the money coming from?
Yeah.
Where is the money coming? Because J.J. Watt's making money.
And plus,
Buda Baker's making one of the most for a safety.
And you just re-signed Kyler Murray to that fat contract of $230 million. I don't either. I don't mean the way he played. I mean, Kyler Murray was basically kind of like a little kid throwing a tantrum.
This goes,
said, "Mommy, Daddy, I need money."
To me, this goes back to when, earlier when we were talking about Des Bryant.
Of course.
As a QB, right? You have to be
winning,
level-headed, making good decisions, putting your team in the best position to win. And he's literally throwing temper tantrums.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
On the sideline, he's getting upset, and then you put in a contract that you have to watch film.
I saw that.
And they tried to take that back, but it's like,
you should know.
Why would you have ever said that if that was not a concern?
Yeah.
Who put that in there?
Somebody, one of the coaches had to.
Then they tried to walk it back, and it's like, no, you meant it.
Yeah.
You put it in a freaking contract.
Yeah, so you have to do it.
You put it in a
contract
for a QB.
Yeah, that's pretty sad. That's pretty sad. You know.
He gets injured. Right. Then he's getting hurt. He can't stay on the field.
No.
He's undersized.
Yeah.
And without D-Hop, he looks absolutely horrible.
Well, even last night, he basically looked like the top 10 quarterback like he used to last year. he looked good.
Well, he should.
But, I mean, yeah,
He should.
Yeah,
With the roster that he has,
there's no way you can't be.
Cooper Rush is going in there winning a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I'm
true.
sorry.
In that division,
You have Robbie Anderson, you have Hollywood Brown, you have D-Hop, Zach Ertz, James Conner.
Yeah.
A good
Good old line. You got Zach Ertz. I mean,
what more do you?
What else you need?
What more do you want?
You have the weapons, dude. Like you have all the weapons. You should know. And it's like, hey, man, you got to be careful. But like I said, like after last night, like how he got in Cliff Kingsbury's face, started yelling at him. And the funny is, Cliff Kingsbury kept as cool as possible. He was cool as possible until he said something. He said something like Kyler said something to him, and then he had to walk away.
I wonder what that dynamic is.
I don't know. I mean, that's a good question. But I mean,
because they're both young.
Yeah,
like Cliff is a fairly young.
Cliff's been in the league, I think, for 3 years.
His first team.
No, yeah, his first
team,
NFL team. Yeah, but I think he's been with the Cardinals now for almost 3 years.
But him and Kyler have been exclusively together.
But the reason why because he's always recruited. He's always wanted him since the Texas Tech days. He's always wanted Kyler Murray since he played at Allen High School. He's always wanted him.
Just stupid because he fucking had Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
he had him at Texas Tech, and you want to go not keep Patrick Mahomes, but you want to go get the guy you wanted to recruit out of high school. Come on, man.
But my thing is I wonder what the dynamic is because both of them just signed contracts.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't know.
Like you kind of have to assume that if this doesn't get turned around,
contracts could be terminated, and they can,
like somebody's gonna get fired.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I think that they'll look at probably at Cliff first because he's the head coach. They'll look at the head coach first.
They barely beat a Saints team
that was beat up
with the backup QB who threw 3 interceptions
and no Michael Thomas.
Hurt, like they're injured.
Yeah, they're half of them are injured. But I mean,
they're injured.
Yeah, exactly.
So then it's like y'all barely beat an already hurting. And okay, the Saints have a fairly good defense.
Right, they do. 3
interceptions, 2 of them pick sixes.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's like, well, what do we
do?
Dude, that's a weird one, man. Right? Like,
yeah,
dude, this whole NFL season is just.
It's been real different because there's so many teams that are making runs at teams you wouldn't think would have been playoff teams. Like you said, you look at the Giants that are 5-1. You look at the Jets that are 4-2.
Only one loss.
You look at Dallas, baby. You look at Minnesota, who's 5-1. You look at the Chargers, who was a playoff team last year, but I mean they're 4-2.
But okay, but I look at those teams and I don't see contenders because I know how they handle. Like example, Kirk Cousins.
Oh.
We know what happens to Kirk Cousins. Is he good? Yes, but dude, when he's bad.
The only year that he was good, like I said, when he had Stephon Diggs and he had that Minneapolis Miracle.
But even then, though.
And that was against the Saints, too.
But you're talking about a QB who fails in the spotlight so often.
Right.
Well, when you get to the playoffs,
you tank.
You're prime time all the time.
Well, he sucks in prime time. He's not very good at
That's
prime
my point.
Yeah,
you make it to the playoffs,
you suck.
Every single game is prime time.
Yeah, it's not. No.
So then it's like, are they ever going to get over that hump? They got the talent.
Mm-hmm. I don't think they will, though. Man, it's going to take a while. I mean, Kirk Cousins needs to learn the game. Like, he knows the game well, but I think it's just – I think it's a new head – because they have a new head coach in Minnesota, don't they? Mm-hmm. It's a new head coach. It's a new scheme.
Hey,
it's something.
Kirk Cousins rocking double chains, though.
Hey, I
got them
see,
gold chains, baby.
I did see that. He
got
did.
His swaggy P.
But who he probably learned from Stephon Diggs. But hey, he learned. But
that's funny. I feel like these white QBs like that never had acted like that. Joe Burrow.
Even in college, he never did that.
But I feel like because of Joe Burrow,
he started doing it.
Joe
Burrow.
I feel like because he started wearing the fur coats. Started wearing the chains and just started acting.
And he won.
Now everybody's trying to do it.
He wore, like I said, the last game when they played the Saints, he wore Jamar Chase's national championship jersey into the stadium where they won in 2020, and he won.
Isn't that kind of weird? Because it's almost kind of like
it's ironic.
It's almost like that wasn't even a home game for the Saints because
No.
everybody's like,
Oh, of course.
hey, Jamar Chase and Burrow got us a championship here.
Now we're gonna come back and watch them again play for the Bayou Bengals.
Maybe we just shut up.
Yeah, it's the Bayou. It's the Bayou Bengals is what they call them. But I mean, even though they're Cincinnati, but I mean they're a good team.
That's
they're
a swaggy team, right?
Yeah. Well, like the one thing is though too, and I noticed too, when they wear the white uniforms, they're undefeated. They win when they wear those white uniforms.
Clean, bro.
And they're fresh. I like that all white with those Bengal stripes. Those are nice. Those
clean.
are very, very clean uniforms.
They're very clean.
I don't know any other team. I know like when y'all do y'all's throwbacks are pretty cool. I mean y'all's like from like the 90s. Y'all do y'all throwback.
I love our throwbacks.
Mm-hmm.
I love our throwbacks.
They
look good.
I hate our throwbacks.
I even like our white alternate helmets.
Yeah, those all white ones are cool. I just don't like ours. I hate our throwbacks.
I'm not gonna lie though. I think the Commanders' new uniforms, although they're kind of college,
yeah, you can tell.
but I think that they don't look bad.
No,
they're not really their colors though.
No, did you see the ones?
It's like the Seahawks jerseys. It's like, yeah, but your colors aren't highlighter.
I like those.
They do look
those
good.
highlighter ones are nice. Those are
They
very
stole that shit from Oregon.
Of course they did. I mean, they're Seattle. They don't care. But I mean,
They stole that.
But then you look at when you talk about different colors, you look at when the Bears played. When they played actually against the Commanders, they had that all orange crap because I talked to my coworkers back in Denver. He said it's a brand new uniform. I said I could have sworn that Chicago had all orange uniforms. I could have sworn they did.
I wasn't a fan of those.
I wasn't either.
I thought they were ugly.
I don't like them.
Those helmets, I was like,
they were all orange helmets.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Jerseys, pants, all of it.
I thought they were ugly.
I don't like them. They just look kind of. They just look disgusting. I'm like,
what was that?
Terrible. But it looked bad. I didn't like them.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. The Rams are pretty basic.
Yeah, I don't like their. I mean,
what do you think about the freaking Jets?
Okay, I'm very surprised about the Jets. I mean, they did have 3 first round.
You remember before the season started, I told you, I said, dude, there is a really good chance.
You did.
There's a really good chance that the Patriots might end up being last.
I agree to this one. The reason why I say that because they had 3 first round picks. Sauce Gardner is surprising the heck out of me, man.
Yeah, but
he
nobody
is a player.
But nobody expected the Jets QB to come in and ball back out.
But exactly because Flacco owned the first month of the season, first 4 weeks he owned it or something like that. Because while Zach Wilson was dealing with his lawsuit with the whole thing from BYU.
Well, it wasn't just that.
There was
tore something in his knee.
Yeah, but there was other stuff. He was dealing with that too on top of it. But yeah, I did agree. I mean, the Jets. I mean, they got that Sauce Gardner guy. They got the guy from Florida State, that defensive end. Even though he's actually hurt now,
dude.
And then somebody else
they don't even have their first round receiver that they just drafted back.
No. Oh no. Yeah, Wilson's that. Wilson.
Or no. Never mind. I'm thinking about the Lions. My fault. Because the Lions had like the number 1 offense.
Are you talking about Ahmad St. Brown?
No, Jameson something. He had a torn ACL. And they were even saying, I think it's the Lions. They drafted him in the first round, and they were like, this guy is the most pro ready. He has to heal. Okay. Man, I'll have to look it up later.
Yeah,
but dude's a baller.
Look
dude
it up.
Is
I think the one receiver that went high I wanted to say was
he was like the 3rd or 4th receiver off the board.
Yeah, because I think the first receiver off the board was Drake London.
It was Drake London.
Who
then
went
Olave.
to the Falcons. And then no. It was no wrong. I had it wrong. Garrett Wilson went first. Then it went Drake London, and then it went Chris Olave. Garrett Wilson actually went with the Jets.
I'm trying to remember
because it was the Jets,
the guy's name,
the Falcons, then the Saints. Like I said, Olave went there. So he had to be the 4th guy. I forgot who it was though. I forgot who the 4th guy was.
I think it's like Jameson something.
Okay.
Like I said.
Jameson Williams. He played at Alabama. Jameson Williams.
Maybe
he got hurt.
I think torn ACL,
Jameson
and I think
Williams.
he went to the Lions.
Yep, that's who you're talking about. Yeah, Jameson. Yeah, you're right.
But they were like, he's the most pro ready.
Well, he was.
Like the size, like he had everything going for him.
Until we got hurt.
And then it was like, okay, we got to heal him up. But dude, the Lions had the number 1 offense through last week.
Yeah. because Ahmad St. Brown,
Well,
who
so
was taking the top off defenses, man.
so it's like, all right, well, this guy gets healthy.
Right.
Maybe the Lions.
Who knows? I mean, I don't sleep on the Lions. I mean, I like the
You can't
defense
sleep
too.
on nobody this year,
No,
bro.
except
the Texans.
The Texans.
Texans
The
trash.
Texans are trash. The Carolina Panthers now trash since I trade away Christian McCaffrey, and that kind of sucked for, like I said, for 5 picks. That's kind of a lot.
I
for
wanted to
one
like the
player.
Panthers so much.
I did too.
Ever since like the Cam Newton era.
Oh, well, like I don't know why. And the funny is,
Doesn't that kind of just go to show you that they don't give a fuck about grenading?
no, they really don't. I mean, they blow that up. I mean, the owners didn't care.
You're just gonna get rid of an MVP QB.
Oh yeah, exactly. Well, I think didn't he have some kind of lawsuit against him though?
Dude, I have no idea. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's the side. He's always not in the NFL.
It doesn't matter. It's like the Lamar Jackson situation now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You have a guy
Mm-hmm.
that, Cam Newton, I guess it is a little bit different.
Right.
Cam Newton has won an MVP,
Yeah.
took them to a Super Bowl,
and lost.
took them to several playoffs.
And he lost to the Broncos though.
But
That's
it's
when
like,
Peyton Manning won it.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
name one franchise that would not have loved to have that resume.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's not one.
But
franchise
then
I can name,
they just got rid of him, which, okay, yeah, he got injured. Maybe he wasn't the same.
He got hurt, but then he ended up.
But it's like,
he went to the Patriots though. He went to the
and
Patriots.
stunk it up because
he did
y'all were
stink it up.
trash.
And
Y'all had the worst team humanly possible, a scheme that does not match up with Cam Newton's style of play.
Because he's a runner. He's not a pocket passer. Belichick likes pocket passers.
Doesn't matter, so don't bring him there.
But that was like I said, that was Belichick's
You're setting a guy up for failure,
basically.
and then it's like, well, Cam Newton sucks. Cam Newton sucks.
Right.
Who is he supposed to throw it to?
He had nobody to throw it to.
Who does he throw it to? The line sucks. He has to run for his life.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Defense isn't doing nothing for us.
Defense was
like, it's one of those things where it's like, okay.
He had to carry the team.
And he's coming off of an injury, and his confidence is shook because where he thought he was going to spend the rest of his life, didn't want him. So then it's like, well, what do you do here? Yeah, I wanted so hard. Like, I wanted to like Carolina. I thought they were a cool team. They were swaggy with Cam.
He fit their scheme. He, like I said,
bro, they're just out there dabbing.
Because it was it was him, Christian McCaffrey, and they had some other good players. And I'm like, I mean, I think that's when they still had Steve Smith. I think Steve
Towards
Smith.
the end of it, yeah.
Yeah, he was still playing. I think he had 1 or 2 years. He played, I think, his one last year.
Greg
Olsen. Greg Olsen. Yeah, Greg Olsen too. Man, they had a tight end. They had Steve Smith. But then when Steve Smith left, I think that's when Cam Newton was still there. That's when Steve Smith went to Baltimore for a year.
But bro,
then he retired.
They were literally putting up hype videos
Yeah,
every week.
They were putting up numbers every week. Yeah, I agree.
They were like how the Bengals were last year,
right?
Going through the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
That was that was.
They were killing.
That was the Panthers.
They were killing it. Yeah.
They're running up in the end zone on camera, dabbing it up, doing the Dougie, like doing
everything,
dancing.
Everything.
Bro, he's sitting there dancing in between plays.
Right.
Like, it's one of those Superman. Wah.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
The Superman, like, hey,
it's literally like, dude, it was literally one of the greatest things to watch on TV.
Of course it was. Everybody idolized him.
And they just got rid of him. And it's like the Cleveland and Baker situation.
Yeah.
Or we had talked about that, and it's like,
yeah.
It's like, dude, how do you come back?
It's hard to come back after that.
How do you come back from that situation? Mm-hmm. Like, I was listening to an interview with what was his name? USC quarterback went to the Cardinals.
Oh,
won a Heisman.
Matt Leinart.
Matt Leinart. I was sitting there listening to an interview that Matt Leinart said because he was going over his career, and he's like, how do you come back from your first coach hates you,
right?
But then y'all go to the playoffs. You're balling out. Everything is going good.
Mm-hmm.
Coach still hates you.
And he had Bruce Arians too at the time.
Coach gets fired.
Yeah.
New coach comes in. Well, I don't. Was it Was it Carson Palmer that went in?
Yeah, Carson Palmer.
Or
yeah.
was it Kurt? I think it was Carson Palmer.
It's Carson Palmer, yeah. It's Carson
So then
Palmer.
you get benched,
Yeah,
but you're the number 1 pick. You're the Heisman guy from
Right.
USC.
right.
But then it's like, oh, everybody just wants you to just come in and be this guy.
Right.
Well, how?
Yeah, you can't.
How?
It's hard.
You got drafted first round. Your first coach hates you. The schemes, he's
No.
talking crap behind your back. The schemes are all messed up.
Right.
Then you finally get a coach that, like, where you might get an opportunity, but you're already shot. Oh, by the way, Carson Palmer's coming in, who's a vet.
He's gonna take your job. Yeah.
Well, you're already shaken up, and your new coach isn't trying to give you a chance to mesh back in.
Right.
So then it's like, well, you really only have one, and no other team wants you because what you have on tape is garbage because that coach sabotaged you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, well, how do you ever come back from that?
Right, and it's the same when you talk about Matt Lyon. You take the same thing. You take and I was watching this earlier.
I think Baker is in a very similar
Well,
situation.
he is. I mean, and it's the same. Like you take Baker. I mean, Baker was a good quarterback. Like I said, when he played at Texas Tech, great quarterback. All that, had fun. And then, like you said, goes to the NFL, goes to the Browns. The Browns thought he was good. I mean, like I said, I felt the defense carried him to the playoffs. He didn't. He did his part, but the defense carried him to the playoffs. Nick Chubb saved his butt a lot. Nick Chubb did a lot. But, I mean, in the long run, he just, like I said, it's the schemes. It's understanding.
Yeah.
But I think being now in Carolina, hey, man, I mean, like you said, like you mentioned earlier, his head coach gets fired, and then that DC gets fired right after Snow gets fired. Now it's an interim head coach, and then trades away, like you said, his star running back, trades away Robbie Anderson, and it's like, what am I worth to this team?
Who am I listening to? Who am I throwing it to?
Yeah.
It's almost just like, all right, I made a lot of money. I got good personality.
Right.
Like Baker Mayfield, honestly, he comes out of the NFL, probably could get some commentating or probably get something that's going to make him some money.
He could. And I think
He's got commercial deals, so
Yeah.
it's like he could. I just don't see a way back.
No.
And
No.
I mean, dude, the Baker situation. The Baker situation is so weird
Right.
because it was like, dude, did you hear over the offseason
Mm-hmm.
that reporters were asking his coach?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember his name, but they were asking him.
The one when he was in Cleveland, or what?
Yeah, the Browns.
Oh, Savansky.
Yeah.
Nick Savansky.
They asked him, did you say bye to Baker? And he's like, I have nothing to say to that. Which means no.
Also, Savansky said that?
Yeah. So, which means no,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, this QB that took your team to the playoffs,
Yeah.
played through broken bones,
Right.
torn shoulder,
Right.
kept, like, dude, I can't reiterate that enough.
He had a broken shoulder.
He had a fucking broken humerus.
And he still managed
He
to the
snapped
playoffs.
his arm,
Yeah. Yeah.
torn shoulder,
Yeah.
and his head coach says, let's throw the ball 60 times
Yeah.
across your body.
Which is that's a no-no already. You don't throw across your body.
First of all,
Mm-hmm.
you have a running game.
Right. You got Nick Chubb and you had Kareem Hunt.
You have a running game.
Right.
Why are you even throwing the ball if you know your QB's that one moment was where I'm like, they're grenading.
Right. Yeah. They're just.
He
tanking.
fucking hates Baker.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
He hates Baker. How could you be the QB of a team,
Mm-hmm.
have your coach doing that to you,
Right.
and not think, yeah, he fucking hates me.
Yeah.
He hates me.
Yeah. It's a scheme. I mean, like I said, Baker's a good player. Like I said, but I think he just needs to go to another team.
But who's going to give him a chance? Nobody.
Hey.
You know what I think?
Who knows? You look at Houston. I mean, they're about as trashy as
Yeah,
Carolina
but dude,
is. But
Dougie Davis Mills, he's a baller. He's a baller.
he is. Well, he's got.
He's a baller. He doesn't have a good team.
No, but
Lovie Smith is barely taking it back over.
No,
like
he is. But I mean, every other team. I mean, you look other than Houston. Man, I don't know who else. or he could be a backup. He could be a backup somewhere.
That's what I was gonna say.
he
I
could be a
think
backup.
I think the best the best opportunity,
if he's a backup.
go to a good healthy program, right?
Or
Like honestly, a Kansas City, go to the Buffalo, go to a place that has a great quarterback room, and honestly, like I understand he's cocky, but you're not gonna walk into the Bills and be like, I'm better than Josh Allen.
Here's the one that may surprise you if I even throw a team out there. Pittsburgh Steelers.
No, because they have Kenny Pickett.
But here's the problem. He could learn because he could show him ropes better than.
That's not true. He has Mitch Trubisky.
But Mitch Trubisky sucks.
He definitely doesn't.
He sucks. I mean, but
did you even watch his last game?
Yes, I did. I watched his last game.
What? Mitch Trubisky was never the reason why they lost.
No, it wasn't. No,
dude, their defense was atrocious after T.J. Watt got injured.
Yeah, but he needs to go to a team that has
the Steelers on it.
Well, I mean, but
I'm pushing back on that one.
Okay, we'll push back. That's fine. But I mean, if not that, go to a team that has a good defense. I mean,
but my point is go to a team like, okay, Mitch Trubisky went to Buffalo.
Yeah.
I think Mitch Trubisky learned a lot
from
being a backup to Josh Allen, having Dayball, having, he had a good system there to learn from.
Yeah.
This is how we do things. These are the ropes. Because think about it, Mitch Trubisky fucking came from Chicago.
And who was
the most toxic organization.
He was very
Matt Nagy.
He was very anti-Chicago.
Bro, Mitch Trubisky was undefeated, and they're like, well, we gave Big Dick Nick Foles all this money.
Yeah.
So we're just Mitch Trubisky isn't losing, so let's just throw Big Dick in there.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. Then they started losing.
Right.
Then, because Mitch was on a rookie deal, well, let's just ship him out. It's cheap,
it's cheaper to let him go.
It's easier to let him go because we owe Nick Foles all this money.
Right.
Well, so then it's like, what do you do in that situation? Because you're literally grenading a situation where, Mitch isn't a bad QB.
No, he's not.
Mitch Trubisky, if he has the right people around him, I think he's good.
Yeah.
Because also, remember, Mitch Trubisky right now with the Steelers, a lot of drop balls. Claypool has been non-existent.
Claypool, you got Deontay Johnson. You got Pat. How do you say his last name? I don't know, but the tight end for the Steelers.
Hirschberger or something like that.
No, it's Pat something. Pat, friend of something, whatever. But then he has Najee Harris, who's in the backfield.
He's been underwhelming
and
this year.
He's been dropping the ball a lot too.
But my point is, though, Mitch has played okay, but between that defense sucking, their wide receivers, they're just not playing high level.
No, because they got to get used to that now. Big Ben is out the door. And they're so used to Big Ben hunking the ball.
But you have Kenny Pickett, which I think they put him in too soon.
I did too. I agree.
Protect your assets.
I'd have said probably.
I just don't think. I think Baker needs to go to a team that has a good system. Right.
Go to a veteran
I think
team.
he needs to go to a team that has the coaching stability, has a team that is willing to coach him up, and then who knows, maybe he finds himself in a backup position.
Right.
Somebody gets injured.
Or
just come to Dallas, bro.
Yeah.
Come to Dallas, be our backup. I wouldn't be mad at it.
You can go there, or here's another one. I mean, you got like look at New Orleans. I mean, you look at the Saints. I mean, they still got Jameis Winston.
Honestly,
but
though,
they still got Andy Dalton. He can learn from Dalton. Dalton's been around the ropes.
But to be fair, is Jameis Winston that much better than Baker? Now,
I'm saying he can learn from Dalton.
But
Dallas.
my pushback for the Saints is, if we're talking coaching stability, they really don't got that right now.
Well, they got Dennis Allen.
Yeah, and they're a fucking dumpster fire.
But he knows the Saints though well.
But they're a dumpster fire.
Yeah, but I mean,
right now,
is it a better dumpster fire there, or is it in Carolina? What's worse?
Well, obviously, I think the Saints is better,
Because he has more weapons too. In New Orleans, he's got weapons.
but a dumpster fire is still a dumpster
I
fire.
know it's a dumpster
One
fire.
might be a little bit more, a bigger flame.
Yeah, it's
But
not
one
like
is, you know what I'm saying?
they're both a dumpster fire. I agree, and so I mean it could be more.
I think you should go I think it should go because he's a player.
Right.
Dude, his whole NFL career
Right.
has had zero stability.
Yeah, he hasn't.
Zero. And
Right.
zero help from coaching.
Right.
So I'm sitting there thinking about it. And I don't even know a team.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a Minnesota Vikings
Yeah.
as a backup. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, he could. Yeah, Minnesota.
I
could
mean,
be one.
because
Because
Kirk Cousins, how much longer does he have?
Yeah, I give him like a couple more years, like 3 years. Maybe.
Atlanta,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, him.
So run first team.
Yeah.
Run first team. They got a surprisingly good defense.
Or even or
Artie Smith, brand new coach.
that, or I mean, or same. Talk about new coaches too. Have him go to Vegas, go play for the Raiders.
He ain't beating out Derek Carr.
But I'm saying
Yeah,
he could learn from Derek Carr. He could watch and learn. But I mean,
Actually, dude, I ain't even gonna lie. I think Atlanta would be a
ideal fit. If you think about
good
it.
line, built for running,
Yeah.
decent
Defense.
targets, decent defense.
Yeah.
They're running. They're winning the game because they're running it.
But,
You just need a game manager.
But once you get Cordell Patterson back, if he does come back this year, he's not a bad runner. I mean, he plays both.
He's good.
Yeah,
But that's my point. Is if
Yeah.
you take a Baker Mayfield, because I think Baker Mayfield 20-25 times.
Yeah.
That's how many times he needs to touch the ball.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And like to me, that's how I feel about Dak.
agree,
I think Dak Prescott is a great, almost elite QB.
Right.
If
Mm-hmm.
you hold him
Right.
20-25 throws.
Mm-hmm.
Let the run game do his thing. 20-25. 10 of those are going to be check downs.
Right.
We'll get a couple down the field.
Yeah.
But when you start throwing it 30-40 times, there is very few QBs in the whole NFL
Yeah.
that's going to have a good passer rating, QBR. Like, you're
35, 40 times throwing the ball.
it's going to be difficult.
Of course. I mean, like you said, you take the exceptions. Like you said, you take Josh Allen. You take Patrick Mahomes. You take, like I said, Aaron Rodgers. You take, I mean, if Tom Brady is still decent healthy. But I mean, that's just to name a few. Who knows? But, I mean, who knows? What
I just
Joe
like-
Burrow.
Yeah.
Maybe another one.
But even then, if you don't have to,
Don't do it.
like Aaron Rodgers, he doesn't have to.
No, he's got a dual
If-
threat
if
backfield.
you're-
He's got both.
Yeah, if you're looking at that roster right now,
Uh-huh.
do we go through the run game? Because we know we can run.
Of course.
Or do we pass the ball and we really don't have any durable receivers?
No, you run the
Right?
ball. You run the ball.
I mean,
Because you got Dylan and you got Jones. You got both. They're both good backs. They both split the carries.
let them run the ball.
Yeah. Or the same even like with Philly. Philly's got a three-headed monster. They got Miles Sanders. They got Brandon Scott. They got Kevin Gainwell. But they got a three-headed monster in Philly.
I still think Jalen Hurts is the
primary runner.
no. Like I think he's gonna be the caveat to whatever their success is.
Probably.
Because like I told you earlier,
Mm-hmm.
I've seen their games. If you can stop the run,
Right.
easier said than done. But there's defenses out there that can do it. Dallas did for the second half.
Yeah, y'all did, yeah. I mean,
If you and that's really what the NFL is, right? Is
right,
you ball out until you get figured out.
right.
Once you get figured out,
Mm-hmm.
that's when it's like, can we adjust? Can we scheme up? Can we get different looks?
Right.
Can we start, okay, y'all think we're going to be doing this, but
Right.
we're doing this,
Right.
right? And that's what I'm excited to see about the Eagles because I don't think they're going to do it.
No, and
I don't think they're going to do it.
I don't think so either. Like you said, they may flop, like you said, just like the Cardinals did last year when they went 7-0, and then they start losing games. I mean, like I said, it never knows.
I still think the Eagles will be fairly competitive.
Oh, of course they will.
But with Dallas getting healthier, the Giants
looking solid.
The Giants oddly winning these games.
Yeah, and beating teams that they show usually beat.
You know, it's yeah.
It's kind of surprising me.
Honestly, though, I look at the NFC East and I'm like, who's gonna flinch?
Right.
Because as of right now, we're all playing such high quality football.
Right. You can't tell
that it's kind of like
who's gonna stand out.
Dude, even with our backup we're 4-2.
Yeah, Cooper Rush. Yeah.
Now, is Dallas gonna be better with Dak? He hasn't played a lot of football.
To me, if I were Dallas, and this is just me, I would keep riding the Cooper Rush train. Keep riding it. Keep riding it till something happens. That's what I would do. I would keep riding.
3 interceptions and a game lost isn't enough.
I mean, hey man, I think he's just like I said, because Dak hadn't played in like almost a month and a half.
Yeah, but Dak is still Dak.
I understand.
Dak is borderline elite when he's good.
Right, of course. He is.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. So you're telling me keep a borderline elite QB potentially, right? Potentially, because he definitely has his weird little odd ducks of games like he did against the Bucks.
Right.
But when he's going, Dak is one of the best in the whole NFL.
He is. And
now consistency is a little bit of a problem.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where it's like, okay, even if we're comparing worst game to worst game, when was the last time Dak has thrown 3 interceptions? Really doesn't happen.
No.
Really doesn't happen because he's fine with the patience game. He's fine with the checkdowns.
Didn't he throw 2 one time? Like maybe it was last year.
I'm not saying that he never does it.
I'm trying to think though, like when they played the Bucks. I mean, I thought he had like 2 picks that one time against the Buccaneers. Not this year, but I thought the year before when the Buccaneers just came off a Super Bowl win.
Maybe.
I think he had like
maybe
2 picks, maybe.
It happens.
Yeah, it happens.
But my point is like Dak has done he's a pretty good game man. Like he does a pretty good job of protecting the ball.
Right.
I think every QB you give them enough time will eventually get got.
Of course you will.
Aaron Rodgers throws almost no picks, but I think a week or 2 ago he threw like 2. Right?
Yeah, he threw 2, yeah.
So it's like every QB's going to do it.
Yeah.
The issue that I have is, do I trust Cooper Rush more or do I trust Dak to right the ship after a game like that? I don't know if Cooper Rush is the guy. And dude, honestly, I would love to see him with another team and getting a chance.
Yeah, I would say.
And I would sit there and be like, let's go.
Yeah.
Good job.
Give him a shot.
But right now, you know what you have with that. There's a reason why you paid him $40 million.
Yeah.
You know when he is balling, he is.
He wins.
Top 5 in every single category.
Right.
Since he has been in the league, he is up there. At least top 10 in almost every category. He's got some boneheaded mistakes, some shitty games.
He's had a few.
What it is.
He's had a few.
But
I
think one of the things is like, go with the franchise QB.
Right.
Or there's only so long you can ride, and honestly, we rode the hot hand.
Yeah, and that's what I would.
Dak could have came back last week.
That is true, but me, like I said, being a coach before, like I said, I coached high school ball last year. With me, if I was them, I would still ride with the hot hand while you got a chance. Even though he did throw 3 picks, you got to give him the benefit of the doubt.
That's not the hot hand no more.
I understand it's not, but I mean, you never know because it's always you find those diamond in the roughs because of it. You never know because they ain't got to be a top 10, top 20 pick in the draft, but you never know. You find, like I said, look at Tom Brady for example. He was a 6th round pick and he's won 7 Super Bowls.
I have a
But,
huge wrench to throw in your whole argument. $40 million.
$40 million. But
You're not gonna. Maybe if this was Dak's last year.
yeah.
Maybe if we were able.
But
maybe if we weren't giving him all this money for the next 2-3 years, okay, maybe I could kind of understand.
Okay.
I don't think anybody has looked at Cooper Rush and been like, he's a world beater.
No. I'm not saying.
I don't think he's thrown.
I'm not saying he's a world beater.
I don't think that he's thrown for over 300 yards in any of the games.
I'm not saying that.
But my thing is don't ever compare him to Dak when Dak has had 400 and something.
I'm not comparing.
But I'm saying
ride with the hot hand.
You don't ride,
now,
but you did.
I said
you did.
I said ride with the hot hand, meaning that I'm not saying to.
We rode, but we rode with the hot hand. We went with the Eagles.
Yeah.
We played against a competitive team.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We put the ball in Cooper Rush's hands.
Yeah.
And we lost.
And sometimes you win and lose. You do. But here's the question I throw back to you. Like you said, you paid him all that money. Like I said, $40 million. Has he won y'all a Super Bowl? No.
No, but one team out of the whole NFL every single year wins a Super Bowl.
I agree. Yeah, they do. But I mean,
you know what I mean? Has Herbert even made the playoffs?
Yeah.
Joe Burrow won a Super Bowl. He made it, but has he won?
No, he hasn't.
Okay, that's cool.
But it's not.
When was the last time Aaron Rodgers won one? Greatest of all fucking time, right? One of them?
2011. 2011, he won it. It was
won 4 MVPs.
Yeah.
He's got 1 Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go down the list of. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We can keep going forever.
Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Arguably the best in the game at the moment.
Yeah, he hadn't won a Super Bowl yet. I mean, this could be his year. But I mean,
It could be.
But I mean, it all depends though. It's just. But I've learned, and even watching these guys, you get paid these fat deals, you get paid these fat contracts, and then what do you do the next year? Either you're high and mighty, you're doing great, and otherwise you get freaking tanked the next day, and you could just.
But that's not completely fair.
No, it's not. And
okay, maybe that's fair for normal players,
right?
But when you're talking about a guy who's injured. Like he had a broken thumb.
I know he had a broken, and I know.
And then okay, so then let me ask you this because obviously nobody ever talks about this.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that every single other player, including quarterbacks on other teams, can go through an injury like Dak Prescott had or similar, and everybody is under the unanimous? Just everybody agrees.
Mm-hmm.
It takes about a year to come back from an injury like that.
Of course.
And play at an elite level.
Yeah, after what happened.
Dak Prescott can't do that. He balled out everybody's MVP.
Well, he balled well.
Then we start seeing symptoms of rehab wasn't fully completed.
Right.
Dak has lost it. Dak is injury prone. Dak is this. Dak is that. Yeah, his ankle was snapped in half.
Yeah, I saw.
He had 4 surgeries.
Yep. It's a lot.
Like,
it's a lot.
Can we? You know what I'm saying? Can we give the man a chance to fully heal, fully come back?
Right.
And then it just so happens smacked his thumb against what? I don't know if it's a helmet.
It was against a helmet.
But like breaks his hand, and it's like, okay, well, what do we do? The thing is.
Mm-hmm.
When you're now, what I do think Cooper Rush he played way better than we thought.
Of course.
He gave us an opportunity for Dak Prescott to come back healthy.
Right.
That's healthy.
True. Yeah, that's true.
Right?
Yeah.
We rode the hot hand. Dak could have played last week.
He could have, yeah.
Anybody who tells me otherwise, bro, he was throwing the ball. He was slinging it. CeeDee Lamb came out and said he's got zip on it. Everybody basically came out and said he could play. It's good.
Yeah, exactly.
But guess what? We're going to ride Cooper Rush. He's 4-0 this season.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do the dang thing.
Yeah.
But, okay, I understand. You want to do that as long as humanly possible while it's going.
Right.
You throw 3 picks and you lose to a division rival.
Yeah.
Now,
But in a
you're
prime time game too.
But
which
now
is big.
you're coming into a part of the season that, in all honesty, the way that we didn't picture this whenever it happened or whenever the season started.
Right.
These 2 next games are really the only break that we may freaking get.
Yeah.
Besides
true.
a bye week.
Yeah, like you said,
Because
you got that.
then you got Green Bay, then you got the Vikings, then we're gonna start getting back into divisional games.
Yeah.
And aside from Washington,
Mm-hmm.
those teams are all Super Bowl caliber teams of the record.
They're all good. And like I said, if you look at, like you said, you're going to be playing, like I said, you're playing Detroit this weekend. You're going to play the Bears. You're going to play the Packers. You're going to play the Vikings. And you're going to play the Colts. You know what I mean? If I was to name them all, of course, you're going to beat the Lions. So that's 1 win. The Bears, y'all win. That's 2. Now, when it comes to though, now if, like you said, when it comes to like Aaron Rodgers, that's a coin toss. That could be up in the air. But I think, let's just say I'll give y'all an L with the Packers. I'll give y'all an L. But then I'll give you a win though with the Vikings. That one I will give you that one.
But you're thinking with logic. So far this season,
yeah,
nothing has been logical about this season.
No, and it's not.
So we could win outright, we could lose outright.
Y'all could, but it just it depends what Mike McCarthy wants.
But what I'm saying is if there is going to be an opportunity to get your QB back acclimated, game speed, game reps, well, right now, okay, our running game is good.
Yeah, y'all have a two-headed monster.
Be on the under. Keep doing what we've been doing.
Y'all been good.
Limit Dak 20-25 throws a game.
Run the ball.
Run the freaking ball. Do exactly what we've been doing.
Right. That's correct.
Let our defense eat.
Let them work. Yep.
And then I think we're fine.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody in the whole NFL, except for maybe some media people that just want to be contrarians.
Y'all's defense.
Dak Prescott is worlds better than Cooper Rush.
Oh, of course. I agree with that. Yeah,
so as a former coach, you want the best players on the field. Of course. Now, don't get me wrong. You want to ride the wave of momentum.
Yeah,
but the second that momentum comes to a halt, which is where we're at right now.
Yeah, you kind of want to flip it.
And then on top of that, you want Dak to be ready because Dak is the Eagles' kryptonite.
He is.
Dak has had an extraordinary record against the Eagles since he's came into the league. Mm-hmm. So we're talking about we're going to have to beat the Giants and we're going to have to beat the Eagles.
Yeah, you got to beat them.
Well, you want your guy to be ready for those games because I have a feeling these playoff spots are going to come down to the very last week, like they normally do in the damn East.
It's the last. I'm gonna say the last 3 weeks. It's gonna come to 16, 17, 18 those weeks.
But I wouldn't even be surprised if it comes down to, like, the actual last week.
Yeah, last week.
I haven't looked at our schedule, but I think typically.
Well, like I said, that's what it was, and like I said, that I named y'all the 5, which I'll have.
I think typically we play an NFC East team.
Y'all do.
The very last week of the year.
I think y'all. I want to say. I think y'all play the Giants. I think the last week.
But okay, so the Giants are 5-1.
Yeah.
Which is fine. We're only 1 game behind them, and we have a division win over them.
Yeah.
Right. So okay, that's okay. But we're 2 games behind the Eagles. So okay, let's just say
you already played the Eagles twice.
No. We're 2 games.
That's what I thought.
They're 6-0. We're 4-2.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
We've lost 1 division, but okay, let's just say. We figured some stuff out with Dak. We can split that.
Mm-hmm.
We're still 1 game behind them. We still have to. My thing is we're going to have to find a way because I'm not expecting the Giants or the Eagles to just start losing outright.
No, they won't.
Which means we have to keep winning. And even, dude, you're talking about a division.
It's pretty.
That
tough.
is very possible that you have 2 or 3 teams that are over 10 wins.
Easy. I agree.
So you're just like, you're
coming up on it.
That's going to be very difficult to deal with.
Right.
Whenever it comes, I guess there's always wild card matchups and things like that.
And usually the wild card kind of decides a lot because you never know. Like I said, you get those sleepers and you go, "Oh, great, cool. Oh, we're gonna walk in." Oh, and the funniest talk about. It's like like you said, you talk about last year. Like you said, you talk about how the Cardinals were going in. They were a hot team. Oh, I forgot who they played. Oh, we got this. We're going to freaking roll. And what happened? They got steamrolled in the wild card. They got
I'm still
stomped. But, I mean, it all depends on what happens.
I'm still salty about last year.
Oh, of course. I mean, last year. But, I mean, I think we're definitely going to have two new Super Bowl teams, I think, this year. I just don't think, like, the Rams. I don't think the Rams or the Bengals make it to the Super Bowl. They'll make the playoffs, but I don't think they'll make it past the divisional. I don't.
Yeah, I
so.
100% believe the Bills. It's the Bills' Super Bowl to lose.
Of course.
As of right now,
I'd say it's Kansas City and
dude,
it's
we say that,
but I mean,
dude, you got the Jets with that D.
Yeah.
You got Miami with Tua coming back, which okay.
Yeah.
I want to see how Tua comes back from this situation.
Right.
But dude, they were undefeated. They beat the Bills.
Yeah, they did. They showed up, and like I said, you agree.
So
I agree that it is Buffalo's Super Bowl to lose.
If Tua comes back and plays as good as he was
the first 3 weeks, I mean, Miami was 3-0. They were 3-0
with the win over the Bills,
with a new head coach. First
so
head coach.
I have to be able to say, like,
I agree.
If Tua comes back and plays as good as he was,
because he's got,
I think there's a chance.
He's got the two best receivers, like right now, in his time that he's had, to have Jalen Waddle and you have the Cheetah. You got Tyreek Hill. Both of them will take the top off. Both of them will take the top off, and it's crazy. And you got a running game. You got Raheem Mostert. You got there's like two other running backs that they have, but he has all his weapons. Gesicki, who's the good tight end, he's not a bad tight end. He was a top 20 tight end.
He's a good tight end.
Well, he was top 20, but I mean,
no, he's better than that. Is such a disrespectful fucking.
Oh, I said top 20, man. He ain't top 10. He's top 20.
Name 10 tight ends that's better than him.
Travis Kelce. All right, just in general or just right now?
There is.
Right,
as of right now, there is.
Travis. Oh, no, sorry. Mark Andrews. Travis Kelce. George Kittle.
This season, George Kittle's playing better than Gesicki?
No.
This season?
No.
Okay.
Well, for sure, at least.
I know overall
Yeah, Mark Andrews, Travis Kelce.
So 2. I'll give you 2 for this season.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who else.
George Kittle, we can. I say tie.
Yeah.
Because George Kittle does a lot in the run game.
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
I mean, George Kittle.
That's 3.
That's 3. I mean, you got.
Knox barely has 1 touchdown.
Knox would be another one. I mean,
he's not better than Gesicki. He has 1 touchdown.
But last year he went stupid.
So did Gesicki.
But
Gesicki was literally Tua's only target.
Yeah, well, he had Waddle last year. He had Jalen Waddle.
But Gesicki was the one saving his ass.
That's true. That's true.
But
at least
my point is, okay, and even then, Mark Andrews wasn't even on that list until last year.
Yeah.
Even though he's been good.
He wasn't. I mean, because it was still Gronkowski was still dominating. I don't know who else was dominating last year other than, like I said, Mark Andrews.
My point is, Gesicki is probably a top 5 tight end this year. Okay. This year. Okay. He's filling that role between Waddle and Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
He is creating a third.
The underneath blanket.
He is creating a third option that is incredibly dangerous.
Right. And exactly.
So.
And he's making noise.
If Tua can come back from the concussions, concussion, I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. Dude,
he
got 10 more weeks.
Yeah. I mean, you still got plenty of time. Anything can happen.
And they're not out of it.
No, they're not. And like I said, like when I mentioned earlier, I mean, it's going to come down to the turning point of the season. It's going to be like week 11, 12, 13. That's going to be the turning point of the season. And once it turns, you're gonna know people are gonna start shuffling. You can see teams, like I said, go up and down. But like in football terms, we both know this too. It's not how you start; it's how you finish, and it's who's gonna be the stronger man coming out towards the very
I
end.
call cap because if you like, ultimately it's still wins and losses.
Of course, it is.
Right?
It is.
So like,
But it's how you finish.
do you think the Colts are? Do you think the Colts are gonna win outright?
No, no.
Because they fucking started off trash.
They did, but I think
like they're like right now, if the Texans decide to turn it on and they win, they could be a 10-win team.
no.
Are they going to?
Houston? No.
Probably not.
Heck no. I mean, they're gonna be if you're gonna make them a 10-win team. I'm sorry. You
If
might as well just put the Colts in
the good teams start fast and end good.
Yeah,
that is what happens.
Yeah,
and as of right now, sometimes the teams like Atlanta did last year, we'll find out if the Eagles and Giants and Cowboys or Vikings, whoever, name them.
Right.
I think we know what the Bills are. We know what the Chiefs are.
Right.
We're still kind of figuring out the Dolphins.
Yeah, we're still.
But the Jets, like, we're gonna find out what those teams are and what they're made of. But because something's gonna have to give.
Of course.
Eventually, that dam is gonna have to break, and we're gonna start having to find out how many of these teams are legitimate.
Yeah.
But that's when, okay, at the end of the day, Eagles still got six wins.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like with the NFC.
So they're gonna have to lose 2 or 3 just to even fall behind other. You know what I mean? So if you can start fast, you have 2 or 3 eggs to lay.
You can, yeah.
More so than other teams where like a team who's 2 and 4 or 3 and 3. Right. You gotta play good for the rest of the damn year.
And I think, like I said, I mean,
Eagles have a couple games that they can just.
Especially with the NFC, to me the NFC is still wide open. It's anybody's freaking.
The AFC is more so than the NFC.
Dude,
they're all within like 1 or 2 games of each other.
Yeah, but I still put the favorites. Still, like I said, in the AFC is still Kansas City and Buffalo. Buffalo is still like the team. Like I said, it's to lose it. It's honestly, it's Buffalo's.
Yeah, but that's not the argument. Like literally, the NFC, there is more of a disparity between the good and the bad. The AFC, for some odd reason, it feels like every single team is within a game of being number 1 or being last.
They are, yeah.
So it's like in the AFC,
because the Bills are
they're all so close.
It could shuffle.
Which the Bills have the best record in the AFC, I think.
They do.
They're 5-1.
They're 5-1, and then the Chiefs are 4-2.
But then
anything can happen.
Tua's coming back. Miami's getting healthy.
True. That is true. You never know what could happen, but I think in the long run,
Chiefs are the Chiefs.
Yeah. We'll see what they do. But I mean, overall though, pretty enjoyable, and it's going to be a good season. I think it's a lot of fun. So, man.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I don't know how I feel about the college football outlook.
I think college is wide open. I mean, anything.
I think all of it.
Anything, but I mean, I think the team, like I said, I mean, you look at Tennessee. Tennessee can make a run. You look at Michigan, which they're always up there, but I thought Michigan.
I still think it's Ohio State and Georgia.
Yeah,
I think those are probably the
2 power dog teams.
I mean,
anything.
I guess if Tennessee can beat Alabama,
they could probably beat Georgia.
They might be able to beat Georgia.
But with Georgia, like they got their little tough schedule coming up too with them. I mean,
I don't. I just
tough.
we'll see. I think this whole year for sports is just gonna be.
It's a shuffle.
I think it's gonna be interesting,
right.
And eventually, I would like to start having maybe like a segment or 30-minute little show or whatever where I only talk sports.
Right.
Because, people are probably going to listen to this and be like, dude, y'all fucking talked for almost 2 hours about nothing but fucking football.
Yeah.
And be like, all right, well,
hey, it's what it is. You got to learn about it. And sometimes, hey, it's what it is. But, you got to do what you got to do.
We talk sport. Like, we enjoy sports. We watch sports. Tomorrow we're watching the damn UFC fight.
Yeah.
So, like, it's just one of those things where
take
you know,
advantage.
and why not, bro? This season is drama.
It is drama.
This season is
man.
drama. You literally have people that are getting sacks for not even tackling guys.
Right.
You're getting strip sacks that are being called back from roughing the pass.
Right.
Like, dude, there is so much
that can be done.
that has happened where
Right.
it's like,
Right, exactly.
it's drama, man. And it gives us
You
stuff
never
to talk
know.
about. Because also, I would rather talk about sports than how fucking politics
Everything else
and other stuff that's going to get people riled up and mad.
because there's no win-win to that. You never know. I mean, there's always you got one people's opinion on one side and one on the other side.
Well,
so
see,
there's no win-win.
But you know, I think that's why I love sports.
I do too.
Because you know what? There's a fucking winner and a loser.
Yeah, there's no.
You know what I mean?
50-50.
It's like I can
win,
sit there and
lose.
talk to you about when Dallas plays New England.
Of course.
Because if we play,
which we played last year.
Winner and a loser.
Yeah, and
right?
and we lost and y'all
Sports has winners and losers.
won. Right.
And there is now, granted, there's nuances to it. Are there injuries? Did we play whatever? Home field advantage, weather,
something.
But still,
Right.
winner and loser.
It's gonna happen.
When you're talking about ideologies and you're talking about politics or you're talking about being PC, politically correct, when you're talking about all of these other things, it's like, no, I'm right. You're wrong.
Yeah, I mean, and I learned that from my brother. Like I said, he was a poli psych major in college, and he always said, "Oh, I'm right. I'm this." I'm like, "Oh, I'm like, sure. Come on, like just play the game."
Dude, that's why I adopted the phrase "to my understanding."
Right.
Because it's like, dude, like my last episode, right? I was sitting there talking about nutrition and stuff like that, and I was explaining. I was like, "Hey, a lot of doctors don't have the background of a nutritionist, so on and so forth." Well, and then one of my friends, she's a personal trainer, and she actually commented on the thing, and she's like, "Hey, there's truth to that."
Right.
So it's like, but in the thing, I'm saying to my understanding, because if I'm wrong, hey, correct me.
Or you can even ask Mike Jesus' friend, like he's a personal trainer.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, same thing.
But it's like teach me, correct me, because we're in this, we're going to be in this world now where we have to kind of familiarize ourselves with a lot of different topics.
Right.
And we're in a world now where whatever side of the fence you want to be on, there's a Google post for it.
Of course.
If I want to say I hate so-and-so, there's a Google post for it. If I want to say I love so-and-so, there's a Google post for it. If I want to say roses are blue and the sky is orange, there's a Google post for it.
You can do it all day.
Dogs meow, cats bark. There's a Google post for it. So it's legitimately
it happens all the time.
So you
the time.
So you can't be married to opinions.
Yeah.
You can't be married to stuff like that. And for me, it's like, to my understanding, because also with that being said, to my understanding, sometimes I'm just, you're right.
Yeah, that's what it is.
You're right. Dude, I don't have a strong enough opinion on this for me to freaking argue with you.
Right.
So, to my understanding, if you want to correct me,
go ahead.
I ain't got a PhD. I ain't smart. I did some school, but Lord knows I didn't pay attention.
Hey, it's okay. It all happens, man.
So for me,
so the funny is you talk about education. I give you short, sweet to the point. Through my college education, I actually flunked out my first semester of college. I didn't think I was gonna do all that well. My parents were like, you're gonna do all right. I'm like, whatever. My dad's like, nah, just go work. And I'm like, nah.
And you're teaching the youngsters now.
And I proved them wrong. And that's what I did. And I said, hey, I'm gonna go get this done. And I ended up getting it done. Got it done. Cool. I love it. Now I'm a teacher. I love it. I enjoy it. So I can't complain.
Well, we'll end it with this, but I am incredibly proud of you.
Appreciate it. Thank you, bud.
I kind of watched you struggle with trying to find things that you wanted to do, or a job that would make you happy, or how to fit in to certain jobs, or how, example, coaching. There's not a direct pipeline to being able to do it and being good at it, or getting in at school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I watched you struggle a lot with stuff like that. I've watched you struggle personal stuff. I've watched you struggle professional stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, you took a leap of faith. You moved to a whole nother city,
Yep.
which a lot of people don't. You know what I mean?
Hey man,
Hey,
I had to, and I know it was
you need a
hard.
wheelbarrow for them balls.
Yeah, I
Like,
really did, and like I said, like it's good to be back home. It's good to see some stuff back home. But I know, like I got my friends. I got you as my friends too, being back. But it's always good to be on the show, man. I appreciate it. Had a lot of fun, and can't complain, man. Like I said, I hope to do more, and I hope to come back and do some more. We can always, like I said, always come up to Colorado.
well,
We can do some episodes up in Colorado. We got some fun.
well, that's kind of the plan.
Okay.
Is we're we're working around pretty difficult work schedules.
Yeah, exactly.
Between me, Jonah, and obviously we'd have to coordinate with you or anybody else as we kind of grow this thing and try to figure out ways to make it better, find ways to expand,
Right.
find our ways to be able to just do different things and experience things that maybe we never got to in our like regular life.
Right.
We are doing all of this around a work schedule, so then
Right.
it's like at the end of the day, the thing that's financing anything that we're doing for this is my job.
Right.
So like the goal is, and me and Double Boy Jonah, you know, we've talked about it,
Yeah, y'all talking
and we got stuff in the pipeline.
y'all do, and
We got stuff
y'all
in the
got some
pipeline.
creation.
I've talked to you a little bit about it,
You
but
told me about it, yeah.
but we got some stuff that we're working on and things that we're gonna start trying to mess with, do business wise.
Yep.
So maybe we can come out to Denver. Maybe we can go out to Nashville, see some people.
Yeah.
Go to different cities and be able to record in nice places.
Yeah.
But one thing that I definitely want to do is I want to give credit to people that are thinking outside the box.
Right.
I want to give credit to people who, when everybody was saying don't do this,
I did it.
you did it.
Right.
You went against the grain. That's terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's terrifying.
Most of the time you don't do that.
Going to a different place, different job.
Yeah.
You're trusting yourself, your instincts, and let's be honest, we made some bad fucking decisions in our lifetime.
Oh, I've made a good amount.
So it's one of those things where like I just want to give credit. I want to give the flowers. Like I want to give all of that because like I know sometimes going through life is hard. Sometimes you don't hear I'm proud enough.
Yeah.
Or
I don't.
Sometimes you don't know, hey, what am I doing? Is it right?
Right.
And
Right.
sometimes that we get so caught up in our own life that we forget to tell people, hey, love you. I'm proud of you.
Right.
We want to see you.
Right.
We want to see you do good. We want to see you get better.
Yeah.
We want to see you heal from past traumas. We want to see you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We want to see you successful. We want to see you with the family. We want to see you living
and that's
the
what,
dream.
That's what my dad told me, and he knew the last time I talked to him before I came down here, and he could tell by the tone of my voice, the way I talked about my kids. He knew I was happy because he see all the times that I was teaching, coaching. When I was coaching for so many years, even when I was coaching at Antonian College Prep last year, he's like, man, he said, I never seen you so happy in my life, losing your mind on the sideline. I said, yeah. I said, I know what makes me happy. And I made the jump. And he knew when I told him I was going to Colorado, he said, hey, man, that's a big old jump. But he said, hey, I'm proud of you. I love you. He said, you're my son. But he said, I know you're doing it because you had to do it. And he said, sometimes you just got to make the move. And I said, Dad, I had to do it. I had to do it for me. And I know it hurt that I left home, but I know I left my friends here a bit. And I'm back. But hey, we're here to have fun. Always come out anytime. But I mean, it was a pleasure. But brother, it was a pleasure being on your show. I appreciate it, and couldn't thank you enough. I will definitely let my friends and all that definitely subscribe to his channel. It's awesome. Have fun. Check it out, man. Dylan's a great guy. He knows everything about it. So I mean, I can't complain. People watching, hey, enjoy this. This man's a great guy. He's done a lot for me. He's helped me a lot. And yeah, he's done a lot, but he's helped me a lot. But I mean, I cannot complain for what he's done. He's got me out of some slumps. But I mean, hey, I can't thank you enough, brother. Like I said, I thank you enough.
Well, I mean, and I appreciate you being here. Glad you were able to come in. Got drunk last night. But like,
yeah,
you know,
learn,
I'm glad you got over here. You made it, and
yep.
I am glad that you came over here, we did this because,
Yeah.
see, you know, we were trying to figure out how we were going to do an hour, and here we are 2 hours in.
Hey, man.
So when you got a conversation going, you're having a good time talking about stuff, things happen.
Yep.
Time flies, and like I said, I really can't thank you enough for being here because,
Of course.
you know, people, this is difficult. Everybody's busy.
Oh, I know.
So-
I've heard it a lot, and like you said, you know, your true fans. Like you said, you got Jonah, who's done it twice already. He's done it twice, and like you said, you got myself. But hey, man, we'll help you out. We're gonna get this thing going. We're gonna get this thing rolling, and like I said, we'll advertise it always. And people, like I said, subscribe to his channel, man. He's a great guy, and we're gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna take this thing and take it off. So
Hell yeah. Well, on that note, like I said, super proud of you.
thank you.
Glad
bud.
to have you part of my life.
Thank you, bud.
Appreciate everything you're doing. Appreciate everything you've done for me. And
Of course.
on that note, that's it.
All right. See y'all. Thank you.